Hey, everybody on YouTube, what's going on? Hey, holy shit, we made it to the weekend as we prepare for another edition of Spaced Out Radio tonight. Got a couple of good Canadian kids all the way from the prairies. You can wave to them because it's so flat where they are, they can see their dog running away for miles. Yes, it's twin sisters, Krista and Kara. Yeah, we're getting into this tonight. This is going to be a good one. Let's have a good shout out to everybody who is here so far. Gorgeous Kimberly, good to see you. Hi there, stunning Renee. James, you're looking lovely tonight. Brett Lewis is here, everyone. Brett Lewis, which means we can officially start the show. James Short, good to have you back, man. Human Carl's here, everyone. One of our favorite veterans who listens to this show, Human Carl. Let's give him a round of applause for being one of them great veterans. We love you. Not to be confused with Alien Carl. This is Human Carl. All right. Who else we got? Princess Denali, you're looking lovely tonight. A. Carter, hello. Welcome to the show. Big Rob, there you are. Good to have you back. Steam Train Mark, please let us know how tomorrow is looking and if we are alive in the future. We always appreciate the update. Commonwealth Andrew, good morning to you. Jenny, good to have you here, lovely Jenny. Jerry O'Brien, you're looking good, but you need an apostrophe between the O and the B. Pharmacy, good to have you here, man. Thank you for coming on out. Burrito, thank you for joining us. You always make me hungry. Project Blue Book, what's going on, man? Good to have you here. Scotty Eisner's here, everyone. The Scotty Eisner. Chris Jarvis, good to have you here, my friend. BBD Warrior. I don't know what BBD stands for, but I'm saying it. BBD Warrior, good to have you back. Ad Gnome, how's your gnome collection? Good to have you. Jason, thanks for coming on in. Rich Hilke's here, everyone. Rich Hilke. Yes. Crow Creek, good to have you back. All right, and I think we're caught up. We got these two lovely sisters here tonight. They don't know what the hell's going on. They don't do radio programs, but we got them here. Krista McIvor, pardon me, Alexander, got to go by her married name, not her maiden name. And Kara McIvor, she's like, screw that shit. Give me my last name. Yes.
That's right.
That's right. She's dropping elbows on every man that comes into the building. Just, there she goes. Eugene Braxton. I tell you, Eugene Braxton is here, and everybody should buy his book because Eugene is one of the deepest thinkers and most prolific writers out there. Eugene, you need to write more books, man. People need your education. They need your words, man. I love you, brother. Thank you for coming on in. Ron Weaver, good to have you here. Thank you for coming on in. Zenzabil, you're actually early for once. Good to have you here. It's been a while. Long Island Bigfoot, thanks for coming in. And I think we're caught up. Did I miss anyone? Hello? Did I miss anyone? Okay. So if you haven't checked out our brand new store, go over to facebook.com/spaced out radio. No, that's wrong. That's the group. Go /the SOR Vault. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you buy some swag. It's all in Canadian bucks. So like a $30 t-shirt for you Americans is like $6. I don't know, whatever the exchange rate is. Hey, Reverend Keith. Amen, brother. Amen. Good to have you here. Trollonto. How do you like your new name? Trollonto. There you go. He's a troll, actually. He trolled us for a while. But we love him. We converted him. It was good. Lord of Land, good to have you here. Mitch Midland, welcome to Spaced Out Radio's chat room for the first time. Hey, Northern UFOs, good to have you here. We are literally, just about 1 minute, 50 seconds. A great way to support this show. If you're brand new, hit that thumbs up. Hit that bell thing. I don't know what the hell that thing does. Apparently, it lets you know when we're coming on. And, we're trying to get to 10,000 this month or by the end of the year. 10,000 subscribers. We're like 700 away, 600 and some away. So that's what we're trying to do here. And we need your help with that if you don't mind. Help us reach that 10,000 by the end of the year. Hold on, I got to type into a chat room. Hi, I'm Dave. There we go. All right. And Nixa, good to have you here. We love you. You're beautiful. Don't leave us so soon. Hi, Ninja. How are you, man? Eva. Hi, Eva. Gregory Moyes, welcome to the show for the first time in our chat room, I believe. Thank you for joining us. We really do appreciate that. Enjoy yourself. Grab a coffee. Mr. Apnea, thank you for coming on in. Hope we keep you awake tonight, man. And what else we got? Shannon Banana, always a pleasure to have you here. We are on in 30 seconds. The super chat is open. Give us a thumbs up if you haven't already. Got 27 of them, 42 people here, so before the show even starts. Never mind the hundreds of thousands of people watching around the world. All right, we are going in 10 seconds here, everyone. 10 seconds, and we're going to have some fun. Here we go, everyone. 3, 2, 1. Of central British Columbia to you listening around the world. This, my friends, is Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. We welcome you to tonight's show on our terrestrial affiliates around North America and digitally on TalkStream Live, Revolution Radio, and KPNL. If you want to take a listen to our archives, they are free for you at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do old Davey the favor, hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. Tonight's show is brought to you by Chive Charities. Help make the world 10% happier by visiting Chive Charities today. You can find them on our website. The power of the twins unite. Krista Alexander, along with her twin sister, Kara McIvor, are here tonight to talk about twin magic. Together, the duo strive to work in communion with like-minded souls to create a greater future for all. They have created classes and offer powerful healing sessions that assist others to discover who they truly are. The two have created the Twins Healing Magic and Beyond, based out of Saskatchewan, so if all of you wave out there, doesn't matter where you are on this planet, Saskatchewan is flat enough where they will be able to see you and wave back. Krista and Kara look to heal others through Reiki, meditation, massage, and intuition. Their website is thetwinshealingmagic.ca. Make sure you check it on out. Then at the bottom of hour number 3, I will bring you the SOR Newswire, brought to you by Paranoia Magazine. Krista Alexander, Kara McIvor, welcome to Spaced Out Radio for the first time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Yes. Thank you.
We're glad you're here. We're glad you made it. Wow. They made it, everyone. They made it. Anyways. So
and we saw you waving.
Oh, yeah. Hi. Yeah, I got them on camera right here. Anyways, our radio audience won't be able to really understand that, but that's okay. We'll make sure that everybody knows. I want to say thank you for doing this show, especially the fact that, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world today where a lot of people are stressed out. A lot of people are wondering what's going to go on with their health, their lives, the people around them. This is a tense time in this world, and not to get political or anything like that, because that's something that we're definitely not going to do. But, you know, for you guys, let's introduce you to our audience and break it all down. All right, who's older? I'm going to guess. No, let me guess. No. I'm going to say Kara.
Wrong.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'm not that good with that type of stuff. Not
you
that
were
good.
1 minute off.
How many minutes?
1 minute.
1 minute. Wow. And anyways, so you guys have that twin thing going on. You look almost identical, by the way. You do. Let's just face it. And
Yes.
Let's get into it. Have you also always been intuitive, Krista?
Yes. Yeah. Always, I guess. But there was a great period of time that it all got tuned out. You know, like, I think we all are intuitive, every one of us, but this reality that we live in makes us all mediocre, fit into this shoebox life. And as you do that, you really start to cut off parts of yourself, and then you forget about all of that stuff because you just are all of a sudden just living in this like autopilot world where you're just, yeah, you're just trying to make it work, trying to fit in, try to make other people happy, you know, and then there gets a point in life where that just sucks, actually, and something is missing. And then you go through the phase where you do a little bit of retail therapy and you learn how to do some classes that better yourself, and, you know, self-help where you can fix yourself, you know, and thinking that there's something wrong with you, that you're broken in some way. And that's really how this all came back into our lives again, was just like, there's something more. Like, there's got to be something more than this provincial life. And honestly, like, it, yeah. So
You always knew. We always knew, but we just pretended that we didn't know.
exactly. And like everyone out here listening has that ability. We are infinite beings and we all have that ability, but we shut parts of ourselves off, and have for many years.
If all of a sudden you give this speech, if you can do it, everyone can do it. We're gonna brawl. We're gonna brawl. Yeah.
And you know what? That resistance right there, that's what it's all about. Because it's like that thing that pisses you off. It's like, that's where you gotta lean in.
I'm already ready to lean in. Old Davy has a little bit of intuitiveness, except picking the twin. But you know, every now and again, I think we all have that feeling where something is going on that we can all of a sudden figure out what's happening, and we just know. Intuitively speaking, we just know, and that's just the way it is. I think for everyone, if you figure it out. I think even the skeptics out there have had that happen, and they're like, well, that's a little bit of a coincidence, isn't that?
Yeah.
You know, but Kara, let's learn a little bit about you, you know, being the much younger sister of Krista.
Much younger,
You know, how did you all of a sudden come to terms with growing up and having intuition and all of these weird, strange thoughts that maybe your friends and other people that you knew weren't having?
You know, I guess when we were younger, we always had each other, so it didn't actually really seem that weird. And then it kind of, I don't know, it really did just phase out. And it wasn't until Krista was living actually in New Zealand and I was teaching English in Japan, and she heard there was a Reiki class there, and she took the Reiki class. And then I was living in Japan, and she's like, you should totally take Reiki. That's where it originated. Like, how cool would that be? So I took it, and I think I could honestly say I was pretty unconscious up until that point. Like, my intuition was shoved deep within the depths.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say Reiki is what really opened me back up into trusting oneself, I guess.
Why didn't you trust your own intuition? Because I think a lot of people battle that.
Why didn't?
Yeah.
Like, didn't we? Didn't even know. It wasn't even like, it wasn't even a conscious, like, we were just partying and living life, and you know, like, it was just like we weren't even aware that we were unaware.
But also with that, like, it's just like such a fleeting moment. And, you know, your intuition, it's so quick. Like, it's just like one little word or one little thing, and you get this energy in your body, and you're like, what? Oh, and then you just instantly dismiss it. It's like, oh, I was just making that up, or, oh, you know, whatever. Yeah. That's, I think, most of what was going on. Really.
Just dismissing it.
Yeah.
So when did you two finally decide to come together to try and put your own twin chi and zen into everything to make and help people? How did that come around?
Well, Kara came back from Japan in
2008 we came back.
2008, and I came back from New Zealand at the same time. And Kara came to Davidson, and I went back to Saskatoon, which is about an hour north of Davidson, and went back to my nursing job that I had worked at before that. And then, long story short, ended up moving to Davidson. We were gonna stay in Davidson
2 months.
for 2 months, and we were ditching town because we were like, you know, when we graduated from high school, we were like, we're never coming back to Davidson again. And so, yeah, it's been 12 years we've been here. And we started really with like doing lots of Reiki shares and stuff because we had these new Reiki talents and we wanted to practice them and play with them. And we thought we like went around to people's houses with a massage table, or we would do it on on their bed. We do Reiki sessions in their homes. Like we kind of just made it work. And
yeah, and I think what the neatest part of that is it's never the people you expect that are going to come to you for a session. Like
totally.
I had it in my head. I knew like the kind of people that might come. No, not at all. And it just makes it that much more exciting too.
Yeah. And then we did we had like an open house where we just invited people in to come in and experience Reiki so that they would have an idea what it was. And you couldn't get away with that now with Corona because we had so many people in this little house and just like couches set up and people just getting Reiki sessions. And that's really where it started.
That was where it began. Yeah.
And then you had Reiki shares for years and stuff. And then we actually heard about Access Consciousness in 2015. We took what's called Access Bars, and that
has changed our world
dynamically. Like I remember sitting in that bars class, and Kate Kazar, she taught us, and she talked a language I didn't even understand, but whatever it was like, I want that. Yeah. I have no idea what you're talking about, but
that energy,
I need that.
I want that.
It was just like
something else,
something out of this world that you can't recognize it.
More possibilities.
Yeah, and what it really has led to is like Access Consciousness is all of these tools. They're like questions that you ask that really starts to like get rid of all of these points of views and barriers that we've had like deeply buried within ourselves for years. And it's like, you know, those times when people ask you like, well, why do you believe that? And you're like, I don't know, actually, I just do. And you know, like there's so many things like that where it's like,
mind blown.
That's not even mine.
Yeah.
Like what? And maybe it used to be, but it's not anymore. And so we've just been playing with all of these different tools, and I guess it just feels so good to like discover this kind of thing, this freedom that you can have with it, and you just so badly want everyone else to know it because you're just like, oh, like people need to know this stuff. They need to know that they can actually live the life they truly desire. Like
it truly shifts your world and you can see it right before your eyes. It's
exactly.
Amazing.
Okay, so that isn't that the same as power of positive thinking?
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
What's that like?
It's actually badass. Like you think positive thinking when you hear the word, and I don't use the
and
word
I guess
positive thinking
not positive thinking
because positive is a judgment, right? Like what's positive, what's negative. It's like it's more like just really getting aggressively present in your world and being like, what is this energy that is going on around me? Because we all are made up of energy, and in Access, we learn that 99% of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions do not belong to you. And knowing that, it's like, how can you not believe that? Like, you know how aware you are when you walk into a room and all of a sudden you're just like you feel like mad, or all of a sudden you feel like stressed out.
Your stomach's turning. Or just like an off feeling.
And then you take that feeling in your body and you're like, oh,
it's yours.
This is mine. And that is every energy. And so it's like you're becoming like the alchemist, and you're aware of this energy, and you can shift it and you can change it and you can just get rid of it. And you can choose whatever the heck you want. You know, it's like one of my favorite sayings is, who am I today and what grand and glorious adventures will I get on right away? And it's like, ask the universe. You know, like, we don't ask questions. We never ask questions. We live in a total world of conclusions where we're just like, well, that sucks, or, well, that's never going to happen, or this always happens to me. And it's like, where's the question in that? You know, like, universe, show me a phenomenal day. Like, show me magic, show me fun, show me adventure. And then you just go after that energy. And it's a practice. It's like a huge strengthening of a new muscle, because we've never used these set of muscles before.
And it requires you to do the opposite of whatever you normally do, which can be so entertaining. So entertaining.
Well, I went through that stretch of not using any muscles, and I gained 35 pounds. just saying. So I don't know if I agree with you on that one.
Well, those aren't the same kind of muscles, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted a clarification.
I don't lift weights either, so
no,
just energetic ones.
Yeah, all energy stuff, and it actually is so, it can be so annoying, because it really is so much simpler. Our lives are actually so much simpler than we make them.
And it's so hilarious when you start calling yourself out on it, and you want to go into story, and you're like, okay,
I know I'm doing it again.
Choosing this again, and I see that now, yeah.
Because we tell ourselves all these stories of why we can't, why everything, you know, like, and then, yeah, like we were saying, when you practice strengthening this new muscle, you know, like, where it's like, it's almost like wearing a dog collar around your neck. You need to be zapped every time you're doing these stupid things again. Like, you're just like, oh, I'm doing it again. And then you get in the mood where you're just like, well, I don't care, and I'm choosing it anyways. And then to not judge yourself about that, it's like, well, you can choose whatever you want. You make a choice, and you get an awareness from it, and then you choose again. And it's not about going back and like beating yourself up over anything. Like, you wouldn't be who you are today if you hadn't made every single choice you've made up until this point. And are you happy with where you're at in your life right now? Then all of that is showing you is that is the result from all the past choices you have made. And all you have to do to change that is choose something different. The opposite of what you would normally choose is the easiest way to start. And like, that's one of the things we'll often say at the end of like our videos. We do like, we have little 30-day groups that we do, and it'll be like, okay, this is your task for the day, is to do, like, when something comes and shows up in your world and you're about to automatically do what you always do,
freak out,
do the opposite. Just try it. Like, just try to do the opposite and just see what awareness comes your way with it. So I invite all of you listening to just take one thing, one small, even it, like, something is the route you take to work, or the way you get ready in the morning, you break your routine a little bit. Like, that can be
it can be simple.
On a serious note, I actually know exactly what you're talking about, because a number of years ago, let's go back probably 14 years ago, my ex-wife and I separated, And I wasn't a good husband. I completely was not. And I can say, without going into the gory details of everything, my ex-father-in-law said probably one of the most important lines I've ever learned in my life, and I never ever have forgotten this, even though I can't stand the man. But he told me that you would never, when you get married, you're marrying your best friend, yet you would never treat your best friend the way you treat your spouse. And that line ever since then has stuck with me. And I hated myself for it because I know I hurt her family, my family, but most importantly, our daughter. I knew I hurt her and the stepdaughter that I had during that marriage as well. But the big point that I'm getting at is when I moved out and had to be on my own for the first time in my life, here I am, 34 years old, really good looking, fantastic hair, but I needed to make some changes in my life because literally, I hated myself. I would look at myself in the mirror and I would swear and curse at myself and tell myself in the mirror every day, if I made eye contact with myself, how much I literally hated myself and what a loser I was and anything defaming and derogatory that could come into my mind. So when you sit there and say that the power of positivity works, if you could turn that energy around, it did work for me. It really did. And I know this is sounding like an infomercial, but the power of positivity is actually really true. Because what I did was I started off with a new haircut. I went for a haircut. And, it was right when them Caesar cuts were coming into style, and, I guess, well, I'm usually late to the game, so they were probably in style a couple years before that. But I decided, you know what? I'm going to try one of those. And I liked the look. And all of a sudden, when I looked in the mirror, I liked what I saw. I started cooking different meals that I didn't, I'd never made before. I'd never made chili before. And I made chili, and it tasted really good. So I started racking up all these little victories that I called them. And it's amazing what that can do. As we got about 90 seconds left, ladies. It's amazing what that role of positivity and winning can do for one's self-consciousness.
Yeah, it is amazing. And you have been lifting weights then, energetic weights.
So I got these giant trapezius muscles here.
Nice.
Yes.
I will clarify again, though, it is not necessarily the positivity thing, is like, because as energy, that would be a judgment of what's positive, because we also want to embrace our so-called, I'm air quoting, dark side, and that maybe doesn't have a positive spin to it, but it is just as much of who you are. And all the places that we thought we were so wrong and thought were weaknesses of ours are actually their strengths, their gifts.
Oh, Vegas knows my dark side, that's for sure. God bless Vegas.
God bless Vegas.
I know Reverend Keith is listening somewhere. Give an amen to Vegas for us, Reverend Keith. He's my spiritual guru. I love him. But on the flip side, as we got about 20 seconds here before we go to break, it is a matter of reshaping your mind. That exercise to turn it from hate into more peace, love, light, and maybe sprinkle in some Zen and Chi while we're there. But ladies, I'm going to get you to hold on right there because we are going to go to break here at the bottom of the hour. Krista Alexander, McIvor. They are the Magic Twins. Their website, thetwinshealingmagic.ca. We're going to get more into healing, Reiki, self-improvement. We'll turn up the woo. Why? Because we have the power to do that right here on Spaced Out Radio. All right, we're clear. And in our chat room, Reverend Keith, amen. Thank you, Reverend Keith. Thank you, Reverend Keith. I love you, man. I love you. All right, ladies. How are you? You having fun yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
It's a little taste. Now that you're all warmed up, now we can get into the show.
Yeah, that's right.
You know? Uh-huh. 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 In the meantime, I'm sitting here monitoring like 4 chat rooms and Twitter.
Talent.
Yeah.
Yes, I like it. Yes, good.
It's what I do. It's what I do.
Well, you're good at what you do.
So Saskatchewan, eh? How is your wheat crop?
Good. Good. Our dad just quit farming. He's a retired farmer as of this year. But the harvest was good this year compared to last year.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. What is that? Canola? Canola,
wheat, barley, peas, lentils.
A little bit of this and that.
A little sprinkle of this, a little sprinkle of that.
I bet your mom made one hell of a soup.
Oh yeah, pie, peach pie, all sorts of good. Fall time was the best.
All the Eastern Canadians in my chat room right now are laughing. You guys have no idea. You don't even know what it's like looking past Thunder Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chicks from the sticks.
Chicks from the sticks.
Well, now the Westerners are standing up for you.
Awesome. Hopefully in a good way.
Yeah. Well, Dirty Filth from Edmonton.
Nice.
Yeah, and then there's Ron, who's about 3/4 cranked right now on Aqua Velva, and he's like, put the camera on your guest for a change. No, Ron, no. You know why, Ron? Because I know you love me. I know you think I'm beautiful. I know you want to touch my beard. You know.
Nice hair.
I do have nice hair. There is no male pattern, not a single bit of male pattern baldness there. See?
That's
amazing.
Lush hair.
I don't joke about the hair, ladies.
I know.
Got lucky.
Ron threatened to quit my chat room the other day. I asked him if it was a promise or a threat.
And no.
He's still here. I love him though. I love him.
That's awesome.
All right. Who else just came? Hey, Worsley, how you doing, man? Good to have you here. So now he's gonna. Hey, Ron. At least I have hair. You got that Homer Simpson 3-haired curl over that you got going on. He's gonna go on Twitter and try and insult me, and then I gotta put him back in his place again.
That's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Marty over on Twitter, he's one of our favorite veterans who listens to this show too. He put this meme about some dude shaving his own head, and it's not doing well. But Marty has also a great mustache, fantastic mustache. Yeah.
It's Movember. Do they do that anymore? Movember?
Well, there's no hockey season to promote it right now, so. Hello, Stetson John. You got a great set of hair on you too, man. That's why you wear the Stetson. Spudger in the UK, good morning. Jim Bob, appreciate you coming on in for the first time in our chat room. Thank you. Tammy Finnegan. Where's Casey? Where's Mr. Dress Up? Be honest. We got about 90 seconds. Tammy, I did get your messages. Tammy's actually buying some shirts. Where the hell are all of you? She's racking them up. She's getting all her Christmas presents at her store. Yeah. Anyways. Prometheus, I've gone through like 2 beards since you were last here, man. Literally 2 or 3 beards. Oh, damn it, she's going to call Rusty. You can't call the friendly giant in, man. You can't do that. What about Jerome the giraffe? All right. Eugene, I would lend you some hair, my friend, because I love you. I would give you some hair. I'm growing my hair out again.
Like down to your shoulders?
I cut 15 inches off my hair back in August because I had a listener who was going through cancer treatment, and I donated my hair to her.
Oh, awesome.
All right, we got 10 seconds here, ladies. You sit tight. A reminder, Jim Bob, thank you for the wonderful super chat along with Brett Lewis. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Here we go. Second half hour of Spaced Out Radio is underway tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. Thank you so much for joining us. You're really warming my hearts considering it is winter outside. I got 7 inches of snow right now. It's still snowing. Still snowing. 7 inches. Now, usually around this time I have none, but no, 7 inches of snow. Guess what I get to do tomorrow? Yeah, snowblower time. I'm so looking forward to it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember that if you have missed portions of this show or others, check out our free archives by going to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website, spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show. We introduced tonight Krista Alexander and McIvor. They are a set of twins working together to heal the world starting in Saskatchewan. And Lord knows Saskatchewan needs all the help they could get. Those people wear watermelons on their head during the football season with no shirts on. And it's like minus 30 degrees Celsius. Don't get it, but they're tough in Saskatchewan. Ladies, welcome back.
Yeah, we're crazy here, that's for sure.
Oh, I just noticed that sarcasm right there. I'll just cut it on out. Okay, their website, the twins, healingmagic.ca. Let's get into the magic. You know, I'm going to ask you the age-old question here because you are twins. So before you eye roll me, I'm giving you the forewarning. Okay?
Okay.
Do you guys have that magical connection that a lot of twins do?
Yeah, definitely. We finish each other's sandwiches.
We do, and definitely more so now, I would say, than ever before.
For sure.
So how does that work?
I think because we're all just really psychic, actually, and I think everybody can really have that connection, to be totally honest.
Yeah, we had the School of Magic for kids. Right before Corona hit, actually, we started it. And just speaking to that, because we are all energetic, like I already said, and aware of all these energies around us. And one of the games we played with our kids, we had kids 8 to, I don't know, 13?
8 to 10 or 12. Something like that.
And one of the games we would play was half of the kids would go on one side of the room and half would go on the other side, and they would write down like a shape
and a color.
Yeah,
one shape
and a
that
color.
was a certain color.
And then the other group had to guess what that was. Well, kids are amazing.
It is amazing. So you would just like have them like really think about that shape, that color, and keep thinking about it. And then the kids on the other side of the room are trying to, like, in their heads, see or feel or whatever, however they want. And yeah, truthfully, it was shocking how many kids were spot on. We're like, yes, this is cool.
More often than not, they would get it.
Yeah.
And if they didn't, they probably picked up on someone else thinking something else.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we all definitely have that, and again, like we lose that because we lose ourselves.
Okay, so for you two having that journey and that bond and that connection that you do, how has that affected how both of you grew up? Did you try and separate yourselves and then realize it was impossible and came back together, or did you actually work yourselves into knowing, hey, let's use this for the greater part of good or potentially evil? I don't know.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, well, we just, after high school, we went on our own journeys for like a solid decade, which was, and I don't even remember like talking about it or anything. It just kind of all happened, right? And but yeah, it wasn't until we were just about coming home that we really did get back into it. We'd both taken Reiki when we came, or Krista in New Zealand, me in Japan, and that really was the beginning of our journey with it all.
But it was neat because we were totally inseparable growing up. Like in high school, well, always till we went our separate ways, and then Kara went to Jamestown, North Dakota. I went to Saskatoon. and it was like, it was a weird thing because you were all of a sudden, you weren't a twin. People didn't know you as one of the twins.
That was super weird, definitely. And like people would say Krista's name, and I'd look at them and be like, "What?" Because I'm used to answering to either or, and they'd look at me like, "What?"
You don't even know your name.
Never mind.
But it was quite I feel like really happy that it did go that way, because we got to discover who we each were, and then come back and be our own people. But we still grew together through it, long distance, but I learned a lot about myself, and one of the biggest things was like this confidence piece. Like I didn't have my sidekick with me anymore. So
it was definitely scary.
Yeah.
And I remember when we were like all through school, we were never scared to like public speak and whatever, like all that kind of thing. And then once we separated from each other, then all of that fear came in. And I was like just scared of anyone approaching me for the first while. Like, I don't know how to be. So I guess we learned pretty quickly how to start changing our everything, really.
Totally.
So did you learn quite quickly to get in touch with your own spirit guides, Krista, or did it just come naturally to you?
I would say, well, when I was in my 20s, I really started journaling a lot because I lived by myself for the first time ever downtown. I had gotten out of this like 4-year relationship. I was a brand new nurse, and everything again was all crazy, like, because I've been a student for 4 years, and now I'm just like, I'm this fraud. I'm a nurse. What? I'm a nurse, and like just everything so different in the world, and living by myself, and started journaling a lot, and then learning about Reiki and meditating, and so that's really where it all started. And then I would have to say, when I started like really inviting the spirit world back in, was really probably like learning the talk to the entity stuff, and
like we've done lots of like house smudge jobs and stuff like that over the last decade, but it wasn't really until we'd taken talk to the entities in Fork Lake, Alberta last year, where we really started, because they give you so many tools to make it so simple. Before, we always thought, everything had to be so elaborate, like talking to the spirit world was like you and I talking, but it's not the same. And
making it significant. Like it had to be so significant.
And then once you learn all these simple tools, like you can connect it with so many.
Because before that, like, even any like awareness around the spirit world was something that I shut out. Like it was just like,
why though?
Because I didn't believe myself. Because I was just like, well, I guess maybe a lot of it was fear.
I was going to say, but we also love to be afraid. We've always been those kids that, we grew up down the road from a haunted house. So we always loved being scared. And the thing is, like, however you perceive the spirit world, and it doesn't matter what your point of view is, but however you perceive it, that's how it's going to show up for you. So we wonder why we're so scared all the time. We were like, oh, I love being scared. Oh my God, I'm so scared.
Exactly.
Powerful creators we are.
And one of the things that we learned that I just like about that whole fear thing is like, have you ever heard of a ghost killing someone? You know, it's like, what are you actually afraid of? You actually have a physical body. You're the more powerful being, like, around ghosts, and they're just like, half of them are like, don't even know they don't have a body. Like, it's like they're just like all of us.
They're just like all
but
of
they
us.
just don't have a body.
Yeah.
And like,
that was a really neat, but I'll tell you, the first time I heard that, I was like, actually, a lot of the stuff with access consciousness, you know, and I'm sure even you guys listening to us, like, a lot of the stuff can make you really mad because it goes so against everything that you've ever believed. But then you get past that and you're like, geez, there might be something to that. Like, why did I get so mad with that? Why did I have to get so defensive? Like, what is that energy? What is that?
yeah, because people don't want to face a lot of things that they're aware of too, you know, and people want to hang on to their drama and trauma. Like, people love their drama and trauma. I'm definitely one of them, and until it gets boring. And yeah, like there is so much with the spirit world and like your team. Like, I guess I've been carrying my team. What really brought my team into my life was my fear of being a new nurse, honestly, because I would go to work and I was just like, anything could happen. Like, these people's lives are in my hands. Like, and I was like so desperate that I would call in my spirit team with me on my way to work, and a pocket full of crystals.
Oh,
like,
yes, always the
bloodstone, the stone of courage, the hematite, like a grounding stone, Emma, my posse, like, at my back. You know, that's when they really started to be in my world, I guess.
I want to ask you, Krista, being a nurse, how much weird stuff was really happening around the hospital?
Weird stuff does happen around the hospital. Like, major weird stuff happens, and everywhere I've worked.
Tell us a couple stories from the hospital.
Okay. Well, that was one of my first, like, awarenesses where they were trying to get my attention again. Is I used to, when I would work night shifts, I would go on my 2 o'clock break down to the gym and just go on the treadmill to wake myself up. And it was pretty creepy because you took the elevator down and anyways, then the elevator door opens and there's like, it's dark and nobody's down there. And I would get on that elevator and I knew I wasn't alone on that elevator. Like, I was just so aware that it was fairly crowded in that elevator, and I would just like be so stiff as a board and just not even wanting to breathe. The elevator door would open and I literally would run to the gym and swipe in, and then I was safe, you know. And then, you know, eventually I was just like awkwardly standing on the elevator after time doing it. And one night I just said, hello. And everything changed. Like, the energy just shifted, and I was like, oh, I don't have to be scared. But like, other things that happen, like lights are turning on. Like, there's always, anywhere I work, there's always a light that comes on in one certain room, and it's usually where like most people die in, because it just seems like the same people, like same sorts of patients end up in the same sorts of rooms, and it's not planned or anything. So there's usually one room that, I don't know, people often pass away in. Or there's been stories of like, this little girl came up to me. I wasn't actually, this was at Royal University Hospital. I never experienced this myself, but one of the stories was there was always this little redhead. Actually, I think it was a boy, little redhead boy, who would go and try to help the patients. And the nurses were always like, there is no little boy. But it happened all the time by different patients. And so it's like, it's little things like that. But for me, like working in rural, I just know, like, when I go into the ER at nighttime by myself, I can't see them, but I know they're there.
And we all know they're there, really. Like, if you really think about it, like those moments where you can just like sense someone staring at you, or like, you know, like you just know that they're around you.
And for me, acknowledging them is what just shifts it all, because it's like, well, like they just want to get your attention.
And then that was one of the tools that we did learn and talk to the entities, was just saying hello. Like, it really, like, because if you don't, they know they're there, and if you don't acknowledge them, they're gonna keep trying to get your attention, and it can actually cause like anxiety in the body or paranoia. Like, all of a sudden you're thinking really weird thoughts, and like they're just trying to get your attention. So if you ever go from being like just normal, feeling in a good normal mood, whatever, and then all of a sudden your whole world just shifts, and you feel like maybe even like, oh my, everybody hates me, and you start like all this like negative chatting in your head. It's like, wait a minute, is this mine? Like, who does this belong to?
Yeah.
And then you sit with that, and it just expands your whole energy, and that's when you can start asking questions like, you know, like, do I know this entity? Should I clear this entity? Should I communicate with them? What should I do here? And yeah, it's amazing, actually. It's amazing how much awareness we have.
And that's why, like, we want to share this with the world, like, because it's just something to know that, and to be like, there's people that are so uber aware of the spirit world, and they suffer from it.
And they think there's something wrong with them. And it's like, no, you are just so gifted, and like, you just are so aware. Like, what a gift, really. What a gift.
Yeah, just to be able to take that and flip it on its head and be like, no, your body is aware, and because you, the being, are not acknowledging the presence that you're aware of, your body speaks louder and louder and louder, and it
can turn into physical pains in the body,
yeah,
and like all sorts of things. It's amazing.
Human Carl has a question for you. Normally I only do questions in the second hour. I start them with the audience, but Human Carl's different because we love him around here.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, not to be misconstrued with alien Carl.
Yeah,
human Carl. Human Carl. And he is asking, does one need to believe in ghosts to be able to see them? I don't believe that they exist, and I've never seen one.
Well, that is true, because you will only see what you want to see. So we create this world with our mind, and so if we don't, and you can take anything, right? Like, whatever you believe is your reality.
Your point of view creates your reality. Your reality does not create your point of view.
Exactly. So if you believe you can't see them, what you create is this comfortable distance.
You put up walls.
Yeah. So like, we all have a different comfortable distance between us and each other, between us and our business, between us and the spirit world, between us and everything. We create this space that feels comfortable to us. And so anything beyond that, we actually can't see, because if we did, then, well, we would be crazy, right?
Unless, of course, you have a crazy ability and they know it, then they will keep bugging you. But as far as the seeing part goes, I would say that, like, I don't generally see the spirit world. Sometimes I do, but more like colors and stuff like that. And I got so hung up for so many years on being able to see them. And it wasn't until I let go of that obsession and used what I knew, which was knowing and like like actually like tactile feeling, I can feel the energy sort of thing, then it's like, okay, like use what you're good at. Like communicate with everything with what you're good at instead of trying to focus on seeing.
Yeah, because then that in itself creates a barrier because you're only trying to see it. So all the other
You're
subtle
missing
signs,
all the other hidden secrets that are there.
There's so many subtle signs that you won't see because you're just trying to see them.
And the best thing I heard that got me really out of that, like, obsession of needing to see was the creator of Talk to the Entities, Shannon O'Hara, said, can you see your feelings? And they were like, well, no. And it's like, but you feel them pretty strongly, don't you? You know that they're there. I was like, okay, touche. Yeah, that really helped.
So just ask for your awareness with the spirits. What is my spirit awareness? Show me. And then just allow that to enter your world however it may. And ask, is this what I've been asking for showing up how I didn't expect? Because we're always gonna look for some sort of validation, but we are the only one. We are all so different how we perceive the spirit world that we if we hear someone saying, well, this is how I do, then we think we're wrong in what we're aware of, and we dismiss it. Like, we're so good at dismissing it.
It's
like
a game of trust.
Even seeing something like flitting through the corner of your eye, like out of the corner of your eye, you kind of like see a little whoosh go past you. Like, what are you aware of? You know, like, who hasn't had that happen? You know, or like even like finding dimes is another way.
Seeing the same numbers, seeing the same animal over and over again.
Yeah, like there's so many signs that if you just have to start to pay attention to it and like what's showing up in your life over and over again that you maybe just never asked anything about it. Like, you just are like, no, it just happened. It happened. You know?
And it's so easy to want to chalk it up to coincidence. So easy to just be like,
I know, right?
Yeah.
I know. We've got just less than 90 seconds to go. What have you learned? Actually, it's probably too deep of a question for right now, but in regards to your own intuition, you know, what age for both of you was it heightened to the point where it is now?
I would, you know what, truthfully, I would say just within the last 3, you know what, really since we quit drinking, I will actually say that, is when it really dialed her up.
Yeah.
So 38?
Yeah.
39?
Wow. I didn't even think you guys had hit that target yet, but we'll just clap for you for that. Anyways, you know what? It's funny. It's funny that you say that though about the alcohol, because I have a friend of mine who recently, after 30 years of smoking marijuana, he recently quit, and his own spiritual contact has gone through the roof, where all of a sudden he's gone from this big badass, almost biker type, to trying to figure out, you know, what the hell the fairies in the room are flying around, or to get in touch with, like, you know, I mean, it sounds far-fetched, but that's what happens when you quit something that you are, you know, attached to, whether it's alcohol, marijuana, cigarettes, or whatever. I think it opens up new gates because you're thinking a little bit with more clarity. But on that note, ladies, hold on right there, because we are going to go to break here at the bottom. No, it's the top of the hour. Darn it. I always get that confused. One day I will learn that. It's the top of the hour break. We are talking twin magic with twin sisters, Krista Alexander, Kara McIvor, here on Spaced Out Radio. More healing, more magic, more zen, more chi, and more woo in hour number 2 on Spaced Out Radio. All right, I'm clear. We got 6 minutes 6 minutes. I'm just going to quickly run my dogs outside. I'll be right back, okay?
Sounds good.
Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Don't leave us. No, don't leave us. Don't leave us. I'll be right back. You'll be able to see when I get back because, like, I got the camera on there. Okay, bye.
Stay in touch with my music and music camps. Sign up for my newsletter at bumblefoot.com, and remember, little brother is watching.
Hi there, this is the paranormal lawyer Michael W. Hall. I'd like to invite you to listen in each Sunday night where we're going to open up your eyes to everything strange and paranormal. I will be hosting some great guests with topics that affect us all, such as UFOs, ghosts, and everything paranormal. Let's learn together on Spaced Out Radio Sunday with myself, Michael W. Hall, the paranormal lawyer at spacedoutradio.com.
We all know on Spaced Out Radio we love a good beard and mustache, so why not take care of your facial hair with Mighty Moose Beard Oil? Made in Canada, we're taking care of beards and stashes around the world. We use 100% natural ingredients with our oils and balms to make your whiskers feel silky smooth. Use promo code SOR2019 at MightyMooseBeard.com today.
Hello, Space Travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month. And follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Hey, space travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you know we like to do things a little different. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
I'm feeling a little spicy tonight. What to do? What to do?
Why not get Bumblefuck?
4 million Scoville units of pure hard rock. Bumblefoot hot sauces come in 3 flavors. The burning Bumble. Tone it down a bit with Bumblicious and throw the sauce on everything.
Spicing up. Bumble me, baby. Bumblefoot hot sauce. Get it today at kajans.com.
The SOR Vault is open for business, and we have some cool swag for you to pick up. All you have to do is head over to our website and click on the SOR Vault. You have a variety of cool logos to choose from, and put them on anything you want. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, coffee mugs, you name it, we can get it to you. So do your shopping by supporting the store you love. Get your Spaced Out Radio swag at the SOR Vault today. Hi, this is Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we store all of the SOR show archives for free. And as an added bonus, every 2 weeks I'm posting brand new content on Cryptid Tales, where I will get into some of the spookier legends and folklore from around the world and tell the stories that go with them. Find us at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio and check out Cryptid Tales today. Drop a comment and let me know what you want to hear. See you there.
We are. All right, I am back.
Hi there.
And we are back.
Hi, I'm Dave.
Hi.
Hey, Dave.
That's
Dave's
me.
Dave's not here.
Dave's not here, man.
Dave's totally here. I promise you, he's here.
That.
Dave's a killer. Dave's a mess.
How's your dog?
Good. He loves the snow.
Oh.
He doesn't have to shovel it or snowblow it.
No, I will, this weekend, I will bring out the snowblower and I will carve tracks in my backyard so that way, as the snow continues to blow, I will be able to have a nice yard track for them to run around and do their business.
That's good.
Yeah. That's the way we would do it around here. Hey, Chris Mo. How you doing? Welcome back. Let's see. Who else is here? Who else has snuck in that I haven't seen yet? Anybody? Anybody? Mm-hmm. No, we're caught up. We're caught up. All right, there we go. All right, audience wants to know. We ask, actually, I can't ask. I'll ask the next break, but because we only got like 10 seconds left. And yeah, we'll just save that. Hold on. Thank you to Jim Bob and Brett Lewis for the super chats tonight. Really appreciate the support. Here we go with hour 2.
You're listening to Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott. Follow Dave on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Facebook, Spaced Out Radio Show.
Hour number 2 on Spaced Out Radio is now underway. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight. My name is Dave Scott. Really appreciate you joining us on our terrestrial affiliates around North America and digitally on TalkStream Live, Revolution Radio, and KPNL. Remember, you can check out all of our archives for free by going to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do old Davey the favor, hit that subscribe button. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Vocambulate. Vocambulate is your password. Use it wisely, space travelers, as the Clam sets the password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show. We continue on tonight with Twin Magic sisters Krista Alexander and Kara McIvor are here tonight. Their website, lovely website, thetwinshealingmagic.ca. If you want to check them on out, I highly suggest you do. Ladies, welcome back.
Thank you.
All right, one of the topics I want to cover here for the next little bit is negative energy. There is a lot. I mean, 2020 is the perfect example of what happens when you have a bunch of things going wrong at once. Politically, health-wise, people are just sick and tired of being in their homes. They feel trapped. They feel stuck. Maybe it's because of financial reasons. There's not as much money as there usually is. It's been hard. There's a lot of negativity around the world right now. And if we focus on North America, where most of us are, who are listening to this show, I do have to ask, how do we break that trend of negative energy?
Well, it is a real practice. It's simple, but it's like to really get present and really get aware and really focus on what it is that you want in your life. And so I work in a health center that is filled with negativity.
Pretty much like the most negative place you can step your foot into.
Yeah.
Really.
And Corona has obviously heightened that because it's brought in even more fear and anger and all of these emotions. And so I guess like just from even before Corona and just being around a lot of that energy, I do carry crystals with me all the time. They really do. And also though, just like practicing dropping your barriers. So again, your barriers are like your points of views, your beliefs, all of these things that we hold in place that make us who we are. And so we can, if we drop them, if you allow yourself to imagine them like melting down to the ground, like just get them out of your way and then imagining like the space around your body, like all the little molecules, and pushing them up. Like if we could do this right now, like just getting a sense of your body and imagining that you are energy, and just push that energy of you out in every direction into the room that you're in right now.
And you don't have to like know how to do that. It just by saying it just energy just moves.
Yeah. So then push out into the building that you're in, into the city or the town, and push even further than that, and you can feel the energy like moving and expanding in every direction, from below you, above you, from the sides, from the front, and then going out and filling the whole earth with this energy of you as an infinite being, and then going beyond that into the universe, going 100,000 miles beyond that in every direction, past all the planets and stars and galaxies. And everywhere you look, there you are. And so from this space, if you can just truly be an interesting point of view, and not like just being an allowance, and not like aligning and agreeing with what's going on around you, or the opposite, resisting and reacting to it by getting mad about it. Like, I'm mad at that person because they're so freaked out about Corona. Because trust me, that's how it started for me. I was just like, well, like, why are you guys being so crazy? Like, why are you so scared? Like, there's things that kill people all the time, like that kill way more people that we don't give this attention to, you know? Like, I was just so mad at that. And then it's like, whoa, like, this isn't helping me, and it's not helping the planet, because it's still spewing out this negativity, this toxic energy. And so it's like, if I didn't have to, and then aligning and agreeing would be like watching the news and getting freaked out about everything, and like believing everything you hear on the news, and like
both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Basically.
And so it's like, if you can maintain that interesting point of view that everybody is just doing the best that they can, and everybody is just choosing what they're choosing because they're choosing it, and no other reason, not trying to understand them, not trying to figure it out, just be like, hey, this is what I've been doing the last like month probably, is laying here on my beach chair, watching the ocean, coming crashing in, sipping my margarita, and just being like, I'm choosing this reality here where I don't, like, if you imagine yourself like this rock in the stream where everything can flow through you. And this is from Access Consciousness, where they talk about this, like, everything can flow through you and go around you, go under you, or you can let yourself be washed away with all of the chaos. And so it's like, if you can just be that rock in the stream, and you can be like, I'm sitting over here and I'm like, I'm okay. Like, I'm choosing my happy.
And which is being an allowance, not an acceptance. Like,
Exactly.
Acceptance is getting carried away with it. Allowance is being like, okay, like, they're choosing that. It's not exactly what I'd like. And then if you can, but the thing is, a lot of the time, because we're so psychic and we feel energy, it can feel really gross, and it can feel really like yuck in the body. And so that's where you can take it so as
it's
real and true, but it's not. And that's where, if you can see that as energy, and like, okay, so for example, like, just say someone comes at you with something, like someone judges you
for not wearing a mask
or whatever. I want you to pull that energy up and notice in your body where you feel that. And then with that in your body, turn it outwards and just push it, like, through your intentions, push it out of your body. And you can see that it's actually just, like, not physically, but see that it's just an energy. And it's like, yeah, I don't have to identify with that. And then you can just push it away, and it changes so much. Like, if you allow yourself to do that, and if you're being an allowance of others.
Yeah.
It's a practice, though.
It is a practice.
And it takes an aggressive presence with yourself.
It can make you mad and angry because you're just like, well, I want to own these feelings. I want to feel this.
I want to be mad. I want to be like blaming others. I want and in Access Consciousness, they're actually called, what they call them, distractor implants. And there are 24 of them. Anger, rage, fury, hate, blame, shame, regret, guilt, life, living, death, reality, business, relationships, fear, doubt, sex, love, jealousy, and peace. They're all known as distractor implants, and it's like this infinity loop. And once you buy something, it's like you get sucked onto this loop, and there's no way off. But you can't figure out, if you try to go into why it's happening, you'll just stay stuck in that energy. If you try to understand why someone's being a certain way, you have to literally stand under their crap, and so you're still on that loop. And the only way you can get off is to realize this is a distractor implant. Do you want to be on this loop? No, let's get off and let's be aggressively present with ourselves and look at this energetically and see what's going on here.
It's like being in the Matrix, you know?
It is. It's fun.
And then, like, I always think of, like, when I get in these loops, like this infinity loop, like, I think of myself like I'm on the hamster wheel. I'm like, here I go again, telling myself these stories. Like, I'm going to be hung up on this drama for the next 2 months. Awesome. And what I've noticed, and what we've both noticed, is really using these tools every single day. Like, we have 30-day challenges where we literally take one question and say it 30 times a day for 30 days with groups of, like, a Facebook Live we'll do with these groups of people. And, like, our last one was, or, well, actually the one we're doing right now is, what energy, space, and consciousness can me and my body be to be out of control, out of limitation, out of definition, out of limitation, out of form, structure, and significance, out of linearity, and out of concentricities, with total ease for all eternity. And then there's a clearing statement, which is, in anything that brings up times a gazillion, I now destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, puck, all named shorts, boys and beyonds. And that crazy thing is called the clearing statement. And for anyone interested, you can look it up at theclearingstatement.com. But it's basically like this magical wand that the question brings up all sorts of stuff. All of the questions that we ask, they bring up stuff. They bring up all your points of views, all your beliefs. And this clearing statement is like, it's like defragging the brain, and our conscious mind wants to try to figure, or our unconscious mind wants to try to figure it out, and it can't, you know. And so this is like, takes that limited point of view and it just gets rid of it. So then what you're left with is more space, more choice, more possibilities, because you're not bogged down by all of these points of views, all these like layers we've covered ourselves up in to make us fit into this reality. So if your mind is blown, check out theclearingstatement.com. But yeah, it's all really peeling away parts of you that were never yours, or really could have been at one point. But a lot of the things that we believe are things that we were taught by our parents, we were taught by our teachers, our friends. We learned all of these things as kids growing up, and then they just became our reality without us even having a choice. And we were never even taught to have a choice. Like, you know, you think of kids, it's like, you can have this or this. Well, but I want that. Nope, you can have this or this. So we don't teach choice.
No, we teach to fit into a box. And then people like, and then you go into a wrongness of yourself, because it's like, why don't I, like, thinking of high school and whatever, it's like, why don't I fit in? Like, why am I not good at this? Or why, like, you know, and you want to do these things, but those aren't your choices. And then so you think there's something wrong with you, and there's not.
Well, when you think of little kids, like how aware are all kids of the spirit world, and they say something to mom or dad, and you can't talk about that, or that's just your imaginary friend, and then they're like, oh, I guess it's wrong to talk about this. I guess it's wrong to know what I know. So we shut it out. We layer upon layer upon layer over the years, after lifetime after lifetime of this, covering up who we are. And we wonder why there's so much depression and anxiety and suicide and everything, because it's people don't even, we don't give ourselves permission to be us, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
All of it. Yeah.
All of it.
There is that structure that we have to have in life. We're all playing roles. You look at the pressure on social media where we literally have to, try and make every day like it's the best day ever, because the minute you put on your Facebook, I'm down, I'm sad, or whatever, a lot of people don't want to hear that. They don't want to respond. They don't want anything to do with any type of negativity. So it's all become a facade.
Yeah, totally.
And getting back to, I realized I kind of went off on a tangent. We were talking about Corona, and just dealing with all the negativity around it. I guess that's what it takes. It is to just do the opposite of what you would normally do, and just reach out to people, and not trying to change people's minds, because you know how that works.
That's the whole being an allowance, really just letting people be whatever they need to be, and not take it personally. I have this written on my wall, and it's one of the hardest things to believe, but nothing is personal ever. It's never ever personal. So even if someone's yells at you or whatever, that really has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with what's going on inside that person, and it can be a hard concept to believe, because again, we are like little sponges, and we feel so much stuff,
and if you don't resist and react to it, and you don't freak out, then it just ends there. You know what I mean? If someone's really mad at you, what we automatically tend to do is put our barriers up and put your hands in front of you, you're pushing them away. We energetically do that to that person. And so what they do, they push back. Harder. But if you just drop your barriers and you just let it flow, pull them right through you, they're speechless. They're just it ends. It ends, and then it ends. And so if you imagine everybody doing that, the world would be a different place. If we just let people be who they are and didn't take it personally, and didn't try to change them, and didn't try to fix them, and didn't think that they're right and you're wrong, then the world would be so much different. So much different.
How much of a role does not only social media but the regular mainstream media play as influencers? I mean, we have seen over the last couple of years, especially, it doesn't matter what political side you are on, but we have seen a lot of influence coming from the way stories are reported, the way that social media blocks certain posts but allows others, allows people to be harassed, even though their own rules say that shouldn't be happening on their platform. I mean, there is a lot to do with the way media has structured the way people should live these days.
Totally. And people, again, love their drama and their trauma. And that's what gets viewers too, though, right? Is the drama and the trauma and the negativity. Because, happiness is actually pretty offensive. Who wants to hear all these la-ti-da, happy, joyful stories, it just that.
Trauma and drama is a way of connecting.
Yeah. Relating, and so, even for myself, if everything's going really good for me, you know, say everything's just going really good and everybody around me is like having a bad time, well, I like go to a wrongness of myself for it, because it's like you should be suffering because everybody else is. And it's like,
it's
wow.
amazing. It's amazing that we do that to ourselves, truly.
And the more you catch yourself, you can see why the world is the way it is, because it's wrong to be happy. You know, like,
and the thing that too is that I love is like when it really all comes down to it, like we are all choosing exactly what we're choosing no matter what. And even if it's that we're choosing crap. And so that was one of the biggest freedoms, like, you know, you want to help someone, but it's like, you know what, maybe they don't want to be helped. Maybe they love the trauma and drama. Maybe they love arguing with people, you know?
Being the victim.
Or being the victim. People love being victims too. And it's like, once we realize that everybody's just choosing whatever they're choosing, it just gives you like this most immense world of freedom, because it's like, what? I don't have to try to fix people. This is so much easier. Life is so much easier than we let it be.
Yeah, for sure.
We have 3 minutes before we have to go to break. At the bottom of the hour, Krista Alexander, Kara McIvor are here with Twin Magic tonight on Spaced Out Radio. As we try to make things positive, you mentioned crystals. What kind of crystals work to turn around that type of negative energy?
I would say probably one of my favorites for that would be labradorite, because it's got like this deflective energy. So it kind of like takes that energy that's coming at you and it kind of reflects it back at them. I would say that was labradorite is when I really got into doing healing sessions on people. I got a bracelet made of that actually. And if you want, you can like have a magical labradorite cloak, whatever you want, because we can pull energy into wherever we want, right?
And a lot of the black ones.
Yeah, black tourmaline, hematite.
Yeah, hematite's a really good one.
What is hematite?
It's like a silver-colored crystal, and it's a very grounding
it's
crystal.
Grounding, yet also like mind stimulating. So it's really good for helping you to be aware of what's yours and what's not yours. And that's again when you go from being a certain way and then all of a sudden you're in a bad mood, it's like, again, who does this belong to? Like, this is not mine. And so crystals can just kind of help amp that awareness for you, and even through your intention. You can use any crystal you want, really. And clear quartz crystals, you can just kind of like program, like put your intention in, like, crystal, remind me when I'm like not seeing that these energies aren't mine, or whatever. Like, you can use them for so many different reasons.
Okay, so is it about protection or cleansing?
I would say it's more about awareness, like cleansing. You can use them for, I guess you can use them for whatever. They're multi-purpose, so it depends what purpose you want to use it
It's
for.
almost like it helps you align your energy to the properties of that crystal, so that you're just like shifting out of all the stuff that you perceive as yours.
Because we always want to migrate to the simplest way of being, like deep down. It might not seem like it, and these crystals have like this perfect stable structure. So when our bodies are with that crystal's energy, it's like our body's like, hey, that vibration seems like it's a lot easier. And so over time, you go through a process of entrainment where you start to mimic the energies of that perfect stable structure.
On that note, I'm going to get you ladies to hold on here. We are going to take a break here at the bottom of the hour. Krista Alexander, Kara McIvor. We have them for another hour here on Spaced Out Radio. They are Twin Magic. The Twins healingmagic.ca is their website. Check them on out. We'll continue with healing, magic, and much more on Spaced Out Radio next.
game. You can
Good run, ladies. Good run.
How about we think of a shape and a color, and you try and perceive what it is.
Okay, let's do it.
Like we got to think of like.
Hold on.
Okay. But nobody else listening can think of a shape or color because you're gonna mess it up. So.
Hey, Bomb Ajabu. Welcome, Ayabu. Or is that a silent J, Ayabu? Or is that a pronounced J? Ajabu? Ajobu?
Pendulum action.
Pink. Pink triangle?
No. You're close on the color. Kind of.
Purple.
Red.
Funny, I asked red and he said no.
You asked red?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you were right. It is red.
No, but I asked my... God.
Oh, you were asking your pendulum. I see. Your pendulum wanted you to do it. Want to try another color?
Shaking too much. All right. Got my elbow down now. Okay, what are we doing?
Do you want us to tell you what it was?
No.
Okay.
It's red. You just have to guess the shape. Or not guess it, perceive it.
An infinity sign.
No.
Help me out, audience. Vinny says hexagon. Denali Princess says red circle.
Yeah, got her. Red circle.
Princess Denali. That's why she's the official royalty of Spaced Out Radio.
Nice.
All right. Big question for you, ladies. Jabot. Okay. Ajabo. See, I did have it right. Ajabo. Welcome to our show, man. Appreciate you. Thurston Howell III. How is Lovey? Could you please let us know? Good to have you back, Thurston. All right. Audience wants to know, what is your thoughts, Kara, of eating breakfast foods for dinner?
What are my thoughts? My thoughts are, if your body wants it, then definitely. That's been actually another very fun thing we've been playing with. It's like, you know, like we always think we need to eat at all the like breakfast, lunch, and supper, and we need to eat all these things that everybody tells you that's good for you, right? But if you start actually playing with asking your body what it wants and when it wants it and to show you, it's amazing. It's super amazing. But it's funny because it's like, so supper time comes around and you're like not hungry and you think you need to eat. And you're like, well, I should eat because I'm supposed to eat. And that's another one of those do the opposite of what you normally do.
Oh. How about you, Krista? Because apparently your sister is nuts.
Well, I'm pretty nuts too, actually, and I agree. And it's everything is such a head game. Like what we should all do is take our minds, take our brains, and throw them in the garbage. Because if you actually just listen to your body, like it knows what it wants, and then when you don't listen to it, it's when we end up like full and tired and gassy and nauseated. Like if you actually just listen to your body, you would probably eat way less than you did. Not saying that I didn't.
Are you calling me fat now? Yeah.
No.
Are you calling me fat?
No, but I want to tell you, I used to I ate really healthy and I spent a lot of hours cooking. And then one day I started listening to my body, and first of all, had no desire to cook anymore, which my husband was like, that sucks. But he loves cooking, so it worked out really good.
All right. I got 10 seconds here. Breakfast for dinner, yes or no, Krista?
Oh, absolutely.
You two are sick and twisted. Here we go. We passed the halfway point of Spaced Out Radio tonight. My name is Dave Scott. Hanging out with all of you, no place I would rather be, so thank you for joining us. Want to remind you that if you miss portions of this show or others, check out our free archives by going to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do old Davey the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website, spacedoutradio.com, we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show. We bring on the twin sisters, Krista Alexander, Kara McIvor. Disappointingly, during the break, they mentioned that they do eat breakfast foods for dinner, and I don't know what's wrong with this world anymore. That's why they're labeled breakfast foods, people, to be eaten in the morning, unless you're working night shift. Bacon doesn't count because it is universal, much like pizza.
Yes, that is true.
Yes. Anyways, we're continuing on with our energy, our zen, our chi, as we start to look into our mind. As you go deep into your mind, Kara, we'll start with you on this one. You know, there's a lot of people who are trying to slow their mind down, to relax, to get into that meditative state in order to think with more clarity. What's your advice to help people with that?
First of all, I would say take a Reiki class, because that, for me, I mean, just kidding, kind of, but like find what works for you. But for me, Reiki has helped so much with slowing down my mind, because it tunes you into, like, Reiki stands for universal life healing, and it tunes you into like this clear energy channel, you can say. And so if you're like, your monkey mind is going and you need to like really relax, all I do is put my hands on my body and, like, you can say Reiki on or whatever you want, and just get the energy to start flowing. And really, you can do this without taking a Reiki class too, because we can pull energy just on our own. But just allowing energy to flow into your body. And I like to also visualize because our thoughts, feelings, emotions are all energy, right? So just thinking of all your thoughts like as energy just melting down your body, and then feeling all this energy moving into your body, it gets you out of your head. And then, like Krista said, once you're into your body, then realize too, though, that we're more than just our bodies. We're infinite beings. And that's when where the fun begins, where you like start expanding your energy. First, just perceiving the energy just outside your skin, and then expanding beyond that, and expanding beyond that. And then like allowing meditation, just allowing whatever comes your way. That's the thing, like we always try to think that some big elaborate thing needs to happen when we meditate, but it's again slamming your barriers down and allowing whatever comes your way to come your way. But truly tuning into your body is the easiest way to get out of your head, because you're moving the energy down into your body.
Krista, what's your thoughts?
Well, definitely all of that. And I also, just to add on to that, is like, we are of this earth, right? So tapping into Mother Earth. So I will like a really easy way. And I did it the other day with some of my co-nurses who were like super nervous and in their heads. We were at this advanced cardiac life-saving course where we had to do this mega code, and they were just like, oh, I feel like I'm gonna puke, you know, like this is brutal, like help us, Krista.
Okay, so help us all. Let's just do this
so
together.
if you're like in your head and you're freaking out, and like even before coming on this show, I did this because it's like I have no idea what we're getting ourselves into, and so it's like imagining roots growing. So if you could plant your feet on the ground right now and just imagine like roots going down, down, down deep into the earth, and then imagine pulling up this like golden energy, and you can close your eyes if you want. You can imagine it like coming up these roots, coming up through your feet, up through your calves, up through your thighs, through your pelvis, your abdomen, your chest, you know, down your arms, up your neck and into your head, feeling your whole body, and just kind of like just pushing like all the rubbish out, like really like replacing all the yuck and stuff and everything that you have going on in your body and your mind, and just imagining this golden energy just like radiating through your body. And then I like to reverse the flow and imagine like it all, like the earth is so powerful, and imagining her like sucking down all of this stuff that no longer serves you, and just being like, I am and you have to be willing to release it all. And so sometimes you let a little bit go, sometimes you let a lot go. But I that's one of my very favorite exercises to get me grounded and out of my head.
Is it a proper breathing technique too to try and control yourself?
I used to, when I very first started meditating, I used to do the breathing thing just to stop the thoughts. Like, but I would like actually like count in like 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,004, like just like really slow, deep breaths. And in my head, I would think the number in for 4 seconds and out for 4 seconds, because I think that just really what it's the aim for it is, just to
Getting
stop
you out of your head.
Yeah, stop the thoughts.
Yeah.
You're focusing on counting. So you're like counting in for 4 seconds and out. So, but I don't really do that anymore. But it was like training wheels, like a good way to start, I guess. And then you find yourself like all these thoughts. You're like, oh, I forgot. I haven't counted for 5 minutes. I've been like thinking about how mad I am at so and so, you know. And it's like just being like, okay, cool, that's fine, carry on, and not like just letting it flow through, and not making it right or wrong, just to practice.
Okay, we can do that. So when you're doing Reiki, and I'm the type of guy where I never really believed in this, and I went for Reiki one day. My back was killing me. I had a lot of stress on my shoulders, and I was walking hunched over, and my partner literally said, look, you need some of this. And so I was like, okay, I don't buy into this crap. I don't think it works. I just whatever. But I was so sore and in so much pain. And I remember she started about 4 feet away from me. And she goes, can you feel this? And I'm like, no, don't feel anything. She gets about 2 feet away from me, 18 inches to 2 feet away from me. And I am screaming at her to get her hands off my back. She goes, I'm not touching your back. And I was like, I can feel your hands on my back. Get them off. My back is killing me. She goes, turn around. I was in a swivel chair. And she goes, turn around and see where my hands are. And they were like 18 inches away from me. Like I didn't understand. And it was like she was pulling out these giant daggers out of my back. And she worked on me for about 30 minutes of just Reiki healing. And I have never felt better on my back since. I mean, sure, I get knots and you know, I go to the chiropractor and massage therapy and all that kind of stuff, even though it's hard to find a good massage therapist up here. But that was probably one of the most profound spiritual experiences I've ever had. in regards to getting in tune with my own body. What?
Yeah, he's so magical.
So how does it work? How does it work for people who've never had this?
Well, basically, it's like the Reiki practitioner isn't actually the one doing the healing. It's the person doing the healing. So if somebody doesn't want to be healed, then they won't. And you can be as healed as you want, or like as quickly as you want, or as slowly as you want. And so what happens during a Reiki session is that, like, you know, because of all the events that happen in our life and we take things on, and like we were talking about earlier, we buy something as real or true and it becomes a part of us, and we get all these energy blockages through our energy field. And when we get all these energy blockages in our field, energy can't flow as quickly through our bodies, which makes you in pain and feeling drained of energy and all that. So in a session, the person who's getting the healing session, it's like their body is connecting with universal life energy and like communicating through us. It goes through us. Our hands like move like magnets. It's so much fun. And they just go wherever the blockages are, and then it starts to release these energetic blockages from the body so that this nice healing energy can flow through you again, which makes you feel energetic and vibrant and alive.
And way better.
And way better.
The first time I ever had Reiki or heard of it, I had this terrible stomach ache, and I was dating this guy, and he asked, if kind of the same as you, like, I need to do Reiki on you. And I'm like, yeah, I was the same. I was like, yeah, I'm willing to try anything here. And I couldn't believe that it took my stomach ache away. Like I was a believer from that point on, because I was like, yeah, right, you know. And it absolutely took my stomach pain away, and it didn't come back. You know what I mean? Like, you think, oh, you're waiting for it. Like, maybe it took it away for a couple minutes and then it comes flooding back. But it didn't. And it really works.
Yeah, directing stuck energies out of the body.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was a total skeptic, like when we first got into it. And after I like got attuned and took a class, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. But my hands would get hot, and my hands are always cold. And that's what made me believe it, because the minute I would start doing it, they would get really hot. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. So then 2 months later, I went to visit Krista in New Zealand. And like before that, I'd just been kind of going through the motions, like from the manual. Oh, put your hands here. Oh, put your hands here. And then we did Reiki on Krista's flatmate. And that was the first time where it was like, if you've ever played the Ouija board, it was much like that. It was just like, all of a sudden your hands, like, it's not you moving them. They just like slide to exactly where they need to be on the body. And it's like getting out of your head, getting out of your own way, and just allowing your body to guide you through it. And it's
we
like
looked
pure
at
magic.
We looked at each other with eyes wide open, being like, what is happening? This is crazy. And then, yeah, it's about trusting yourself and trusting your awareness with it.
It totally is. And so random things just pop into your head, and you know, you're like, do you have pain, or do you have something going on right here? Do you have this going on? Is this going on? And you don't even know how you know it. You just know it. And it's, yeah.
And then it becomes more fine-tuned the more you trust yourself, because you know, like so many times you're afraid to say something to that person because you think you're way off. And it's always like the moments that you're brave enough to be like, I'm thinking this, I don't know why. And they're like, nailed it. Like,
and the weirder the messages that you get, the more you should talk about them.
Why is that? Why talk about the weirder messages?
Because it's like when you get something that's like so out of your rational mind, something that you would think of, that's when it's like, okay, like this isn't something that I think about, or
these aren't my thoughts.
They're not my thoughts. So when you get that, it's like, it doesn't matter how scared you are, whatever, say those things, because, and even if the person doesn't get it in that moment, that doesn't make you wrong either. It might be like a year down the road, and they might never tell you. It might never be validated for you, but say it anyways, because yeah, like a year down the road, they may be like, hey, oh my gosh, like that happened. It was just a year off. And that's what I really learned too with communicating with the spirit world and like getting messages and Reiki sessions and all that kind of stuff, is that we live on this linear time frame, and when we're communicating with spirit, it can come out of order, out of linearity, like out of our rational minds. So that's why journaling is really good too. And like, because stuff comes together, it might not be in that moment. And that's where that game of trust, really, you got to strengthen it.
Because we are like, it's got to be A plus B equals C.
Yeah.
And we're not really willing to let go of that rope, let go of the need to control and need to know exactly how it'll show up. But the thing is, if you always want it to show up a certain way, then nothing can ever change. You have to be willing to trust. You have to be willing to go beyond what you know. And then that's when new possibilities show up for you that you never could have imagined if you wouldn't have let yourself go beyond like this wall, where it's like, this is the world I'm in. But if you want things to change and you want to grow and you want to know more, then you have to be willing
to step outside the box.
Yeah,
really.
Step outside your comfort zone. Throw yourself out there and just be like, I'm going for this. I have no idea what this is going to look like, but all I know is that it feels right for me. Like it is calling my name. It's like this following your own magical energy trail to where you want your life to be and trusting that. And it's like the analogy that we saw like in The Secret is this car driving in the night, like you can only see so far ahead of you, but you just know where you're going because you're trusting, right? You're trusting your GPS or whatever, that it's going to take you where you want to go. You don't know that. So it's like, if you get this sense of an energy, like if you could right now even just imagine like one of the times when you just felt so happy, like maybe you were on a vacation, maybe you finally paid off your student loan, maybe you just got married, like whatever it is, that when you just were like, yes, like that energy. And so all you have to do is pull that energy up and amplify it and make it bigger
and be like, I'll have some more of that energy.
I will have a tall glass of that. Show me how. And then it's like, then you follow that magical energy trail and it's going to show up never, ever, ever how you expect it to. So you always have to stay in question and be like, okay, like, no way am I doing this. Like, even being on this show tonight, it's like, yeah, right, but it's like going for it. You don't know what it's going to be like. You don't know how it's going to turn out, but you have to trust.
True.
You trust that energy.
I
just go for it.
I got a question from Princess Denali in our chat room for you, and she is asking, what is your opinion on tapping therapy?
Oh, I've heard of it, but that's one of the modalities that I don't know much about. I like to thump my thymus. That's one thing I do. That's a great way to get out of the monkey mind too, thumping your thymus, because it's again that oozing the thought energies down into your body. So I would like to know more about tapping.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I've never had it. I don't know. But I don't know if I would probably try it. Sure. Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
You never know, right?
Sure. Why not? Why not?
It's like the theme of the year. Why not?
We have about 4.5 minutes here before we have to go to break at the top of the hour. Krista Alexander and Kara McIvor are our guests tonight. Twin Magic. What is the magic between all of this, Krista?
The magic between all of this is that your life can be whatever the heck you want it to be. And I know that sounds so like
Annoying,
but it is so true. Whatever you want, you can have it. It's like the law of attraction.
We are
Seek and you shall
so
find.
much more powerful than we ever give ourselves credit for. That is the pure magic of it all.
It is. And the magic is to be able to step outside of all the chaos going on in the world around, just to just stop time and just be like so aggressively present with yourself and be like, I don't have to buy into anything that I don't want to. It is a choice. We all have it, and that is pure magic. When you feel that, when you experience it, and there's no turning back, because it can be very uncomfortable because you're going against the grain, and you are going to stand out, and you are going to look like a weirdo, and you are going to make people mad. But when you experience the magic of that, there's no turning back. That's it. Magic.
Magic. It's magic. When I'm with you. That's why they call it magic. Oh, come on. The cars.
Yeah.
Anybody get that out there somewhere watching me? Anyways. We got just over 2.5 minutes here before we go to break. In regards to the magic, do we all have this with us, Kara?
Absolutely. Everybody has magic, and all you have to do is be willing to let it into your world and, again, like, slam your barriers down. Slam them barriers down, because it's so funny, because we talked about this already, but we want to match people by putting our walls up. But when we do that, we put a wall up here, we put a wall up there, we put a wall up there, and then guess what happens? We have just now put ourselves successfully into a teeny tiny little cage. Look how powerful we are. It's phenomenal. And so the magic is finding the loopholes through that little prison of a world we put ourselves in, and it's just one little thing at a time. One little thing at a time.
Beyond the insanity. We're insane. Humans are insane. The choices we make are pretty ridiculous. When you really start to learn where you're functioning from, you're like, wow, am I powerful? You create everything that's in your life. So what would happen if you created something different?
Like if you say, I live paycheck to paycheck, and then you do live paycheck to paycheck, wow, like how powerful are you, like truly? And then once you acknowledge that and see that it's what you're actually choosing, you can choose beyond that. And you don't want to believe it can be that simple.
And then it isn't.
You know what? I will disagree with you a little bit on that. Okay? I will, because it's easy to say that we can project everything in regards to what we want to manifest, but we also cannot control the circumstances around that. And that is where I think a lot of people get worn down by the quote, end quote, failure of it all. But we're going to have to talk about that when we come back. Okay? Because I actually have a personal story about this where we can help each other out. That's what we do around here. Spaced Out Radio continues right after this. Our guest tonight, and we have them for another 30 minutes here on the show, Krista Alexander, Kara McIvor. They are Twin Magic. Their website, the Twins, healingmagic.ca. Manifestation. Let's get into it. Does it work? Is it a bunch of crap? Or is it somewhere in between? Spaced Out Radio continues right after this with Hour 3. We're clear. Oh, you hit a touchy subject with this one. Oh, you hit a touchy subject.
We love it.
Has happened twice in my life. Twice. But we're going to get into that. I'll be right back, you breakfast for dinner eaters. I'll be right back.
Content and be a part of our newsletter. Stay in touch with everything SOR. The Space Travelers Club is just $5 a month at spacedoutradio.com.
Hi there, this is the paranormal lawyer Michael W. Hall. I'd like to invite you to listen in each Sunday night where we're going to open up your eyes to everything strange and paranormal. I will be hosting some great guests with topics that affect us all, such as UFOs, ghosts, and everything paranormal. Let's learn together on Spaced Out Radio Sunday with myself, Michael W. Hall, the paranormal lawyer at spacedoutradio.com.
The party is always on at the Moose Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is where you want to be when visiting Canada's West Coast. Open until 2 a.m. nightly, the Moose cranks up the rock while serving some of the best rated food in the city. The menu starts at $6.95. Why party anywhere else in Vancouver when the Moose is right there? Get your horns up and rock with the Moose, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Hello everyone, this is Ryan Stacy from the Experiencer Support Association, otherwise known as TESSA. We're glad to team up with Spaced Out Radio to help investigate your experiences on the SOR Sightline Report. Together, we'll investigate the strange sightings and occurrences you've had. We're looking for answers just like you. So fill out a Sightlines report on the Spaced Out Radio website and let's figure out what's going on together.
I'm feeling a little spicy tonight. What to do? What to do?
Why not get bumblefuck?
4 million Scoville units of pure hard rock. Bumblefoot hot sauces come in 3 flavors. The burning bumble. Tone it down a bit with Bumblicious and throw the sauce on everything.
Spicing up. Bumble me, baby. Bumblefoot hot sauce. Get it today at kayaker.com.
The SOR Vault is open for business, and we have some cool swag for you to pick up. All you have to do is head over to our website and click on the SOR Vault. You have a variety of cool logos to choose from, and put them on anything you want. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, coffee mugs, you name it, we can get it to you. So do your shopping by supporting the store you love. Get your Spaced Out Radio swag at the SOR Vault today.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
We're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio, and while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
We all know on Spaced Out Radio we love a good beard and mustache, so why not take care of your facial hair with Mighty Moose Beard Oil? Made in Canada, we're taking care of beards and stashes around the world. We use 100% natural ingredients.
All right, I'm back.
Hi there. We're back too.
Hello, I'm Dave. It's my show.
Kara.
Spaced Out Radio. Dave.
You have a great show. You have a great office.
I have a great office.
Yeah. What are you looking at the other way?
The YouTube camera.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah, so there.
Yeah. YouTube, you. YouTube, you.
Two.
Steam Drain Mark has finally let us know, after much meditation, that we are alive tomorrow. Yes. We made it.
We did her.
It is tomorrow.
No, it's not. It's still
For
today.
us, it's tomorrow.
Us in the prairies.
Yeah, well, you guys are weird.
That's right.
Might have some breakfast.
We're ahead of the times here. Not.
We are in the future.
Hey, Knucker. How you doing? Bombshell Bomber, what's going on? She's in Nova Scotia. She's a weirdo, too.
We like weirdos.
Yeah. All right, we got about 45 seconds here. And let's see. I don't understand any of this stuff here. Let's see here. All right. 30 seconds. Big thank you to Bigfoot Michigan Rob, Jim Bob, and Brett Lewis for the super chats tonight. Really do appreciate the love and support. Helps us out here. And, yeah, you guys are good people. All of you are, especially those who have brand new. Hit that subscribe button as we are pushing towards 10,000 followers before the end of the year. We only need like 600 and some more. About, I don't know, 649 more or something like that. Anyways, let's go for it. Here we go.
Would you like to connect with us? Head to spacedoutradio.com for all your latest show info. Now, back to Dave Scott and SOR.
Third and final hour of Spaced Out Radio is now underway tonight. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us and spend with us. We really do appreciate it. We welcome back everyone listening in on our terrestrial affiliates around North America and digitally on TalkStream Live, Revolution Radio, and KPNL. Don't forget you can check out all of our archives for free by going to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Vocambulate. Vocambulate is your password. Use it wisely, space travelers, as the Clam sets the password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show. For the final time tonight, we introduce our guest. Krista Alexander, Kara McIvor. They are twins out of the beautiful province of Saskatchewan. Yes, they do wear watermelons on their head during football season. And, of course, their website that you want to check out, thetwinshealingmagic.ca. Ladies, welcome back.
Thanks.
Now, right before the break, you kind of hit a slippery slope with me. You know, you really did, because you were talking about manifestation and manifesting, you know, what you want to happen in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. From the time I was 3 years old, my dad took me to an air show where I grew up in Abbotsford, British Columbia. And I went to an air show every single year. I fell in love at 3 years old with jet fighters and planes. Okay, not civilian. I wanted to be in the military. Everything I did in my life growing up was all to become a fighter pilot in the Canadian Armed Forces. And I met a lot of them. It was something that I wanted to do. And so my graduation year, 1991, the Gulf War happens. And then a few months after that, because that war didn't last very long, our illustrious Prime Minister, Brian Mulroney, cut the defense budget, froze the hiring for 2 to 4 years. And I never got that opportunity, because by the time they opened it up, I already had pins in my knees after having knee surgery. So that is a lifelong manifestation that did not happen. Now, I could sit there and say, well, that wasn't the path that I was on. I could make every excuse possible. But when it comes to saying that you can manifest anything that you want, I don't know if I really buy that. And I'm not trying to be rude, you know, and I'm sorry if I am, but, you know, how does that work?
Well, you're not being rude at all, and it is a very, very valid question. And I guess where I would like to start is the word itself, manifest, because that's not what we're saying at all. We're not talking about manifesting something specific. We're talking about following this energy. So remember when I said, like, imagining yourself in this space and in this place where you're on top of the world, where you just feel really happy. Something just lights you up. So it's more like following that energy, because that's what happens when we try to manifest things is we decide what it is that we want. And we decide how it's going to show up and when it's going to show up. And then when it doesn't, we're disappointed. So instead of focusing on really specific things, because we don't know that those are the things that are going to make us happy, we project and we expect that it's got to look a certain way, then we are slamming door after door after door after door of possibilities, because we're like, it has to be this way. And there are so many other ways, like even if it's a specific thing, we think, well, it's got to happen in this way. I got to do this, this, and this, and this. Well, there could be a million other ways, but we're not willing to see that. So the universe is like, oh, you didn't want this really easy way to do this? Oh, okay, you can do it this way then. And and then we disappoint ourselves. So it's not that specific thing exactly. And it can be like, I want to be a pilot or whatever that is, but sometimes when it doesn't show up the way that we thought it would, we give up.
Things never show up the way we think they're going to show up.
It's like imagining that little seed that's about to burst through the ground, like that we decide we want something, and we nurture it and we praise it, and we're gonna have it. We're going for the gold, and then it doesn't show up in the time frame that we want. It doesn't show up how we thought it would. We miss out opportunity after opportunity because we're so stubborn and thinking it has to look a certain way, and then it doesn't show up when we thought it was gonna and how it was gonna, and then we kill it. We kill it.
And trust me, I believe that the majority of that is self-sabotage that we don't even know that we're doing.
Totally.
Oh yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I did that myself. Okay, like my following career, I ended up becoming a journalist, which is how I got into radio. And anyways, near the end of my career, I was was going through a tough separation, and I was trying to win my family back at that time, and was trying to improve myself, and I knew my ex-wife hated my job in radio, and just previous to me quitting radio and walking away, I was a sports journalist. And I had a friend of mine who, well, I shouldn't call him a friend, but a mentor who I'd met when I was like 10 or 11 years old, who is now the head scout for an NHL hockey team. And when I got into sports journalism, it was about, okay, what can I do to try and get a job in the NHL and for an NHL team? And he was a scout. I went up to him at the World Juniors in Vancouver, at the Memorial Cup in Vancouver, and I said, this is what I would love to do. And I'm willing to start at the bottom. I don't want to be paid. I just want to learn, and I want to be a part of it, and I want to grow the proper way. He says, call me. 2 weeks later, I quit radio, and I never made that phone call because at that time, I thought winning my family back was more important. Little did I know that a couple days after I made that decision, I would find out that my ex-wife actually had a boyfriend. All right? So I'm going through, this is personal stuff that I don't even think I've ever mentioned on the air, but I mention it because I self-sabotaged that opportunity. That opportunity will never come again. And that's where we have to be careful with what we do, because sometimes we panic without ever finishing the job.
Abort! Abort!
Fear is one of the biggest ways that we stop ourselves. And then one of the neatest things that we learned too is that the energy of fear is actually so similar to the energy of potency. And so, but we misidentify and misapply fear or potency as fear, and it stops us. It's like, no, you need that energy you're feeling, that like what you think is fear, that is fuel to like push you forward, but we let it stop us so often instead of seeing it for what it actually is.
Okay, so with that being said, okay, how do we stop our own personal self-sabotage?
You have to be aggressively present with yourself. You have, like, a really fun and easy and annoying tool is choice in every 10 seconds. So
Yes.
only ever choosing in 10-second increments. So it's like, if we choose for tomorrow, it's not tomorrow. So like when we try to like ask these like psychic questions, you know, like, is this going to happen? Is it not? Well, then you're just projecting and expecting and concluding how it's going to be. But if you can just be like, here's me following my little magical energy trail, following my path of lightness, and in every 10 seconds, will this create greater for me? Yes or no? And an instant yes or no answer, like just yes or no. Will it create the future I desire, or will it decay the future I desire? And just being aggressively present all the time.
And staying in question, because the minute you go into story and the minute you like say, but I want to do this, but like
that's self-sabotaging.
That's self-sabotaging. So it's one of the simplest ways to get out of that is to stay in question. Will this create more? Will this decay the future? And then trusting your intuition, like what you get, and just going. And like Krista said, it's like baby steps, choice in every 10 seconds. And yeah.
Going for all the low-hanging fruit, you know, and just when all of a sudden, like, you're feeling anything, like heavy or anything, it's like to really, like Kara said, to be the question, like, what is this? Like, what is this energy? First of all, is it even mine? Or does it belong to someone else? That'd be the easiest thing you could do. Is it mine? Is it someone else's or something else's? Does this someone else have a body, or do they not have a body? Is it the spirit world? You know, like, get it? Just being like this energy detective of what is going on in your life. And then, so what is this? What can I do with it? Can I change it? And if so, how? Universe, show me how. And then trusting and being in question and firing conclusionary Connie, someone we were introduced to, who's always concluding how things need to be. It's like firing her and just like, no, I'm being aggressively present right here, right now.
And also, I should say, though, not looking for an answer. When you ask questions,
yes.
Questions are not about looking for an answer. It's about opening up your awareness. So, like, how does it get any better than this? You know, like, even if something good happens to you, if something bad happens to you, like really getting curious, like, how does it get any better than this? And not looking for that answer.
And that's what we're taught to do. Yeah. Like, that's what this reality teaches you, is that you need an answer. You ask a question and you need an answer. But what you're doing when you have an answer to a question, you are stopping the flow of possibilities. You are putting up your walls and you're being like, that is the only possibility. That's the answer. And then you slam out every other thing that could contribute to you. And so it's being aggressively present with that and just staying in question. So opening up your universe instead of like contracting into this small space of a reality that we have all created.
Okay. And I think that makes sense. I really do believe that makes sense in regards to trying to make sure we don't self-sabotage ourselves. But what about if we're doing it to the people around us who are supporting us?
We're sabotaging other people?
Or they're sabotaging us, say our inner circle.
Oh, Yeah, well, that all comes down to being that interesting point of view, right? Like, because ultimately it's your choice. Like, if you have someone that's always like in your face trying to control you, you're letting them until you're not. You know what I mean? Like, if you just are willing to just be like, I see what you're doing, I see this energy you're projecting at me, and I can just let it all rip right, like flow right through me with no point of view, and then they can't control you. They cannot control you if you don't let them. And that seems like also really annoying, you know, like all of the awarenesses that you can, like consciousness can bring, but it's like if you think of any situation where someone is like being a jerk to you, you know, and I can go into victim and I can feel sorry for myself, or I can make another choice and be like, this is not personal. It has nothing to do with me. I'm going to be over here in my little world and choosing what I want to choose, and you can carry on. And like I said, then they change. They stop that because they're not getting what they're going after from you. And I've seen all my relationships change with it because it's just simpler.
And our bodies too, to remember though, that our bodies are heavily entrained to react to certain things because like we have our whole lives, you know, like if you're someone who just automatically freaks out on someone, it's a real practice of being aggressively present with yourself. You know, you're about to freak out like you always do, and then it's like, oh, I wonder what else is possible with this. And like just giving yourself like 30 seconds to just sit with that energy and be like, okay, this is where I would normally go into freak out mode, and then doing the opposite of what you normally do. And like if you need to do it like it's you're playing a game or whatever, like trick yourself however you want, because we're all sneaky. We think that, you know, we're doing ourselves a favor, but we're not really. And yeah, and then when you do something the opposite, you're like, oh my gosh, that felt so much lighter.
And it's lighter for that person too, because it doesn't feel good to be mad at someone and trying to control someone, you know. And when you get to let go of that because it's not working anymore, then you actually get to focus on what you want in that relationship with that other person, you know. Like it's such a freedom and such a gift. And like it's that whole hamster wheel thing, you know, that infinity loop where you're just, here I am again.
And when you don't react the way you normally do, it's like they're just like, what? Like, what just happened? You know, I like something here. There's something different going on. I can't pinpoint it, but.
And then they're often like, wow, I was really freaking out, hey? And that's usually what happens.
How does the body react, okay, with your company that you have in Saskatchewan? All right, you deal a lot with the human body on a spiritual level. How does the body react to different tones, to different touches, to different prayers or mantras that you guys bring forward?
That's a really excellent question, actually. And the body,
Thank you.
You're welcome. And all of this stuff really can, like, all of the stuff that we're doing and talking about that we've been sharing with you guys, like, your body does like freak out because you're moving into spaces and places that your body's never been before. And so that is why it's so essential to listen to your body and do whatever that is that your body, like, does your body want to exercise? Do you want to cry? Do you want to freak out?
Do you want to have a nap?
Do you need a healing session, like journaling? It's really staying in tune with your body and actually asking, body, what do you require? Like, what do you need from me right now? And then really trusting yourself with what's coming up, like what's coming your way.
Okay, so with that, you know, are there certain parts of the body that react differently to different tones of music or different sounds or different touch?
I think that it depends on each individual person.
Everybody is totally different. And that's where it goes back to like not getting too hung up on what works for other people.
What's right and what's wrong.
It's always a game of trusting that you know what you know and starting to become present with your body's signs and signals, because they're all different.
Because you often, like Kara, you often feel your stuff in your solar plexus. When I get anxious and I get mad or potent or whatever, I feel it in my chest. You know, like, so we can all feel it in different parts of our bodies. Some people get headaches, some people, you know, and it all like turns out to like, that's where disease comes from, you know, like, it's like you hear like all people with stomach ulcers, for instance. I have never met a patient that hasn't had a high level of anxiety in their life that has led to this stomach ulcer. You know, like there's a really good book by Louise L. Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. And in like probably towards the end of the book, she's got a section in there that actually talks about all the different diseases and what is causing that in your life. Like breast cancer, for instance, just as an example, often happens from the people that are always caring for others. They're always doing stuff for everybody else but themselves. And it's interesting because anybody that I've known that has had breast cancer, that's been the case for them. And I'm not like that's throwing a whole lot of projections and expectations and judgments like that. Everybody that has this is because of that. But it's just really neat to look at it and just be, and then she's got like different affirmations that you can say with it to reverse your thoughts, like replace the self-sabotaging thoughts that are harming your body, because it's energetic, right? So everything we're saying, any negative thing we're saying, it's hurting us.
Our bodies are eavesdropping on all of our thoughts, like whether we want to believe that or not. It hears everything that we're thinking.
So being in tune with your body, asking your body, hey body, what do you feel like wearing today? That's one of my favorite things to do. Like, it picks some of the most bizarre outfits that I'm like, no way, nah. And then I'll be like, fine, I'm listening to you. And like, you can just practice by like putting something in front of you and being like, body, do you want to wear this? And you can ask your body to like move forward for yes and move backwards for no. And then it will. And I have found the days that I'm like, I'm not wearing that, but I'm going to trust you, body. I've never felt better in my body, because my body was happy.
It's your body wearing the clothes, not you, the infinite being, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Same with the foods you eat. Looking at a menu, just grabbing when you go out, next time you go out to eat, ask body, what do you want to eat? And then pay attention where your eyes gravitate to, and
that's so much fun. You're like, I don't want to eat that, and then it's like the best thing ever.
You know it's funny like that? It is opposite for me, because when I go to a restaurant, I'm a finicky eater. I have like one or two meals that I'll eat at every restaurant that I go to, and that's all I'll eat. But the minute I decide to become a rebel and try something else on the menu, my meal is terrible. So I have to stick with the basics. Ladies, it's time to say goodnight to you. I want to say thank you so much for coming on Spaced Out Radio tonight. It's a pleasure to meet you, Krista and Kara, and good luck in your healing endeavors with your great business that you have, the twinshealingmagic.ca. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, and thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's been fun.
Well, I'm glad that it was fun, because it was a fast 2.5 hours. So you guys hold on one second here, because coming up next on Spaced Out Radio, we continue on till the top of the hour. The SOR Newswire, the thought of the day, a jam-packed final half hour of Spaced Out Radio is coming up right after this. Good job, ladies. Good job. We'll give you a little clap.
Thanks.
Take the claps.
All right.
would
I
do
hope you
that.
had fun. I hope you had fun. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
You're right. It went by so fast.
Yeah, I'm pretty accurate on that.
Ain't your first rodeo?
Or my second. I think I'm I never really counted, but I think I'm close to, well, let's go. Hold on, where's my calculator? The calculator around here somewhere. Hold on, I'll just quickly do the math. 52 times 5. That's 10, 25, 26 times will be 6 years this on the 30th, so we'll just say 6 years. That's 0, 12, or no, that's 36, sorry. 36, 3, 12. I'm at around 1,500 shows.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, over 1,500 shows. So I've kind of done this before. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But you do a phenomenal job.
Thank you. Thank you. It's all in the power of the beard.
Yes, there you go.
And it's provided by Mighty Moose Beard Oil. Make sure you get it. It's all Canadian, all natural. No substitutes. MightyMooseBeard.ca. Or .com, pardon me. Yeah. So I roll. All right, you ladies get to go to bed, and I'm sure one of you has to go home. So, yeah, we'll hang up. We'll do the thing.
Thanks a bunch.
Oh, yeah, not a problem. Throw some Mighty Moose Beard Oil in here. Make Davey look all shiny and new for the last half hour. Hold on. It's good for your hair, too.
Your hair is nice.
It really is.
You know what? If you were here, I'd let you touch it. I
It's
would.
quite luxurious
It
looking.
really is.
Yeah.
You have style.
I know. It's okay. It's okay. I'll let it autograph. If you ever meet my hair, I'll let it autograph itself for you. Yeah. All right, ladies. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time. Much love. Okay.
Yeah, you too.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night. I really liked them. They were fun. They were a lot of fun. Totally. Even though they have breakfast for dinner, which does say something about their character, I like them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We have just over 2 minutes here. Just over 1 minute. All right, a big thank you once again to Bigfoot Michigan Rob, Jim Bob, and Brett for the super chats tonight, and really do appreciate that support. Thank you so much. Here we go with the final half hour coming up now. Rounded third. We're heading for home tonight on Spaced Out Radio. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. My name is Dave Scott. Appreciate you all tuning us on in. I want to remind you that if you've missed most of this show or others, check out our free archives by going to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including Rocking Out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show. Speaking of the news, let's do this thing, shall we? The news is always changing, which is why we bring you the SOR Newswire, the back end of every show where we get to the weird, the strange, the wacky, and sometimes the scary. Dozens of people were escorted out of the Ubisoft building in Montreal after police received unconfirmed reports of a hostage situation. Special forces were called to the building around 1:30 in the afternoon after staff reported receiving a text from the company telling them to hide, turn their phones on silent, and do not speak. It's unclear what exactly the threat was or where it came from, but multiple local outlets described it as a hostage situation. Employees scrambled to the roof terrace where they waited for the news. Some barricaded themselves in a conference room. Within a few hours, the threat seemed to be diffused. According to reports, an employee sent a memo asking staffers to barricade themselves and stay quiet. Police are yet to confirm any of the reported details. Special forces teams remain on the scene. No one has been injured. Very weird story there. Scary. Do you imagine? Anyways, Malaysian wildlife officials had to euthanize a giant crocodile weighing more than 1,000 pounds during an attempt to remove it from a small town when they discovered it had been shot in the head. Crocodiles are protected in Sarawak, a Malaysian state on Borneo Island, a tropical lowland region where rainforests and thousands of native wildlife species thrive in abundance, but recent years have seen an increase in cases of human-wildlife conflict in urban areas. The giant reptile, which had to be removed with a forklift, was spotted in a storm drain behind a school past midnight this past Tuesday in the small town of Limbang, located along the banks of the river of the island in East Malaysia. Members of the public alerted the fire and rescue department, which proceeded to locate and safely restrain the animal before handing it over to local authorities. Officials examined the crocodile and discovered several gunshot wounds on its head and ultimately decided to euthanize the suffering reptile. They believe it was shot by a local resident. The massive carcass drew crowds of curious onlookers as it was carried to be buried at an undisclosed location within a nature sanctuary located on the outskirts of town. This is a case of killing protected species, Zulkifli Mohammed Aton said from the Sarawak Forestry Corporation, which described the crocodile's injuries as severe and expressed disappointment at the lack of public consciousness. It should have been secured from escaping and reported to the relevant authorities for further action. We don't want this to be the norm where the public can simply kill protected species and report it as endangering their lives. In a separate response, a representative from the group confirmed on Friday that investigations were underway to see what happened. It has often been said that bald is beautiful, unless one is desperate for a date and is willing to use any means to conceal their thinning mane. Now, I know our listener Joe doesn't have this problem. He's got beautiful hair. In Britain, the follically challenged have turned to a new phenomena that is seeing a surge online. It's known as hatfishing. and describes someone attempting to mask their baldness under a hat when presenting themselves on social media or on dating apps. Research reveals 21% have tried to conceal their lack of hair when seeking dates, and of that number, 16% have resorted to donning a hat, which is why they've been anointed as a hatfisher. This is funny. It comes after a survey of 1,000 adults found that 1 in 10 Brits claim they have been hatfished. At 40% of women feel they would go no further with a potential love interest if they were hatfished by them. Oh, this is getting serious. More than a quarter of adults also admitted that when scrolling through dating apps or meeting for a first date, they pass judgment on the person's hair. I wouldn't have that problem. No offense. I got gorgeous hair. No male pattern baldness either. Of the women polled, 56% admitted that they would prefer to date someone with a full head of hair, while 45% would completely lose interest if their date had a comb-over. How can a comb-over still be a thing, gentlemen? Honestly. If it's that thin, get rid of it. Or go get some Rogaine. One of the two. The Homer Simpson look just does not look well. I'm just saying. An elementary school in France put up a pair of posters outside their fence with an unusual request for parents. I don't know why this story makes me laugh, but oh my goodness. Don't throw late students over the closed gate. The Trinidad School in Avignon put the signs outside its gate showing a cartoon of a parent sending a small child airborne over the fence. The text on the sign asked parents not to throw their children and instead wait for the gates to be opened again at 10 a.m. or 3 p.m. Principal Sana Mazian says that parents literally threw their children over the gate when they arrived to find it closed. Mazian said there were only a few scattered incidents and no reported injuries, but there were enough tossed children to inspire school officials to take action and post the warnings as a reminder. I don't know why this is funny. Who throws their kid over a fence to get to school? Honestly, that's incredible. Oh. I could never imagine throwing my son over a fence. Get to school now. I wonder if they were putting tape marks to see who could throw their kid the furthest. Oh well. Two Czech nationals caught at London's Heathrow Airport bound for Dubai with $1.58 million in their suitcases while they've been charged with money laundering. The pair, a man aged 37 and a woman aged 26, were stopped by the border officials at the airport. The banknotes were found in 3 suitcases and 2 handbag luggages. Two hand luggage bags, Clamping down on the export of undeclared cash from the UK is vital in our fight against organized criminal gangs, said Minister Chris Phillip. It's the second largest cash seizure in a little over a month after a woman was stopped in October, also bound for Dubai, with just over $2 million in cash on her as well. No word if they were picking up some children who have been thrown over the fence at school. Here's a scary one. Police in Florida say a driver and an alligator both walked away uninjured from a late-night collision on a dark road. The Cocoa Police Department tweeted a photo of an alligator wandering on US 1 after a late-night confrontation with a car. Things that go bump in the night. Patrol officers rescued this little guy as he was wandering into dangerous territory. He was hit by a car on US 1 at Dixon Boulevard, they tweeted. Police said the alligator and the driver of the car both managed to avoid injuries in the confrontation. The alligator will be relocated by Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, police said. We hope he finds a safer place to roam. Wonder if he had Geico. You have to wonder about that. Would a lizard help out an alligator? Be interesting to find out. Or a gecko. A gecko. Would a gecko help out an alligator? Maybe. Germans don't really have a reputation of being fun-loving people. There must be thousands of jokes about how Germans just don't understand humor. It might be then coming as a surprise to you that Berlin, the capital of Germany, is also the party capital of Europe. Really, the city's nightclubs are famous for throwing some of the most extreme parties on the continent. Germany is either the birthplace of one of the primary producers of many genres of electric dance music, or EDM. Kraftwerk famously pioneered what it could be called krautrock. Isn't that a little racist, calling music krautrock? While trance, EBM, and industrial, among others, also owe much of their current forms to German musicians. While EDM has exploded in the popularity worldwide in recent years, there are those that still can't stand it. I like it, by the way. To them, it's kind of a music sounds like a bunch of electronic noises laid over the boom, 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 boom of an obnoxiously loud bass beat. Some people go as far as they refuse to call EDM music at all. If you're one of those people, we're sorry. Got some bad news. German Federal Fiscal Court has officially ruled that EDM, more specifically of the techno and house varieties, is music. The decision came after a German club owner filed for legal clarification on what should legally be considered music in the country. Seriously, this is a conversation that we are actually having. But why on earth is the question on whether techno is music or not being battled out in courts? Well, do you remember the story a long time ago in an Irish court declaring that Subway sandwiches are not bread? If so, this is as good as a time to get into it. Yep. Bringing up the Subway case because, just like there, the issue wasn't really about the music itself. Instead, it all comes down to the thrilling topic of taxes. You see, in Germany, event organizers have to pay a 19% value-added tax. However, concert venues get to enjoy a lower 7% VAT rate. The club owners argued that they should be entitled to the lower rate as well, since, like concerts, they're a place for people to enjoy music. Tax officials disagreed, though. According to them, a DJ playing the other artist's tracks was not comparable to live band playing their own music. Additionally, the tax offices claim that people go to clubs for the booze, not the music. After that, it's the unusual story of taxation disputes. Off to courts it went. To the taxman's disappointment, though, the fiscal court ended up siding with the club owners. The BFH ruled that the EDM music played at the clubs is indeed music that people want to hear. In its ruling, the BFH found that the lower tax rate wasn't due to the presence of live musicians, but the primary reason why the audience attended the event. The court rebuked the tax officials' claims that people were more interested in alcohol and that the DJ was just a glorified stereo system. DJs do not simply play sound carriers composed by others, but they perform their own pieces of music using instruments in the broadest sense to create sound sequences with their own character, the court ruled. The BFH also said that even if most of the club's revenue came from drinks, the clubbers weren't there primarily to get wasted. They were there to enjoy a legitimate form of musical expression. EDM artists of the world, consider yourselves legally validated. How cool is that? I think that's fantastic, to be honest. I like EDM music. I know I look like a guy who is still waiting for 80s metal to return. All right, no, I do not own a jean jacket or a jean vest. However, I do like EDM. I think it's great. An off-duty lifeguard, where the heck did I say that? An off-duty lifeguard in New Jersey is being hailed as a hero after he shed his prosthetic leg to jump into Newark Bay and rescue the driver of an SUV that plunged into the water. Anthony Capuano said he had just finished a workout at Stephen R. Gregg Park in Bayonne, hope I pronounced that right, when he saw a crowd of people running to the shore. Capuano arrived at the shore of Newark Bay and saw an SUV sinking in the water about 50 feet from him. The driver appeared to be trapped inside the vehicle and was yelling out the window. Someone had said loud, "Does anybody know how to swim?" Capuano said, and I was like, oh, I guess that's me, and then I jumped into the water. Capuano, who lost his leg when he was struck by a train 11 years ago, shed his prosthetic limb and swam out to the vehicle. The lifeguard and swim coach at Bayonne's British Swim School said he arrived at the vehicle just in time. It was at that moment when a car goes into a body of water where all the air releases and then the car sinks. That's basically when I pulled him out, Capuano said. Capuano helped the 68-year-old driver back to shore. Police said the man was not injured, and an investigation determined that the man had been pulling over to answer a phone call when he accidentally pressed on the accelerator and the brake at the same time. Bayonne Mayor Jimmy Davis praised Capuano for her heroism. Anthony's instincts and professionalism just took over. He jumped in and didn't think about his own safety. Good for him. That is awesome. That is awesome. By the way, if you are ever in water with your car sinking, take your headrest off. First thing you do, because those long steel poles that hold in the headrest, those are actually made to shatter a window. So that's how you get out. That's how you get out. Just a little bit of knowledge there. The Colorado fifth grader may have set a new world record when he kayaked all 280 miles of the Colorado River through the Grand Canyon. Bodie Hilicki, whose parents Tommy and Polly are both experienced kayakers, joined his parents and older siblings for the 280-mile trip through the Grand Canyon via the Colorado River. It was fun. I loved the big waves, he said. It was sick. Well, what do you expect a young kid to say? Honestly, Bodie's parents said they have filed the paperwork with Guinness to have him certified as the youngest kayaker to navigate the length of the Colorado River through the Grand Canyon. It was a pretty big deal. I just believed in him being able to make it all happen, and I felt that he had the skills to do it, said his dad. Good for the kid. I'd never do it. That kid is going to go places. Thought of the Day happens every night at this time, where we ask a question on our Facebook and Twitter pages, then read your responses on the air because we love the audience participation around here. Today's Thought of the Day is as follows. What do you do to relax your mind from daily stress? Marty, kick back, relax, and enjoy some good snarking and paranormal radio like Spaced Out. Great clowns tonight, Marty. Great clowns. Mike just celebrated his 35th birthday. Elder Scrolls Online, baby. Rono, think of the Canucks, Dave. Never winning the Holy Grail. Thanks, Ron. Appreciate that. That hurts. Hurts bad. Katera, I sleep and I nap. Reverend Keith, a good cry and tequila. Reverend Keith. Can I get an amen for that one? Sinbad, listen to Spaced Out Radio. Duh. Gee, why didn't I think of that? Haunted History, hang out with a couple of cats, listen to some SOR, drink a little hot chocolate with Bailey's. Sounds good. Nick Madrid, well, he makes memes for me. It's kind of cool. And show promos. He's so talented. Very talented. I'd like to know how he knows, but he won't tell me his secret. Zach tries out meditation. Captain Canada. Currently, marijuana and a good hockey book. Paul, some old school ravage tunage or rave tunage and watching puppy videos. Nobody watches old people falling anymore on YouTube. You notice that? It's all the rage there about 8 years ago. I think we moved back from that political incorrectness. Philly sports guy. I don't know. Love it. Ronnie, listen to Spaced Out Radio, watch Hellier, read books written by fellow weirdos, some herbal remedies, and my art. Fantastic, Ronnie. AC, pour myself a nice glass of Canadian whiskey and get caught up on my SOR. Oh, no, I didn't say Siri. I said SOR. He is annoying sometimes. All right, let's move on here. Moving on to Facebook. Let's go here. Where'd it go? No. Had them all here. There we go. No, that's somebody trying to say, that's Danny trying to pawn off eating pancakes for dinner. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Shauna, all the way in the UK. Music and my animal buddies help me. Both bring me much joy. A life without either would be unbearable. Wayne puts all of his energy into his artwork. Davey, I listen to the wonderful Dave Scott on Spaced Out Radio. Oh, you're way too kind. Way too kind. Nikki, she has about 14 Ks in between the eyes. She goes, any one of those or a combination of these, meditation, feet on the soil or grass, various types of music probably, reading, creative work, resin pours, making jewelry, crocheting, sewing, and binge watching a TV show or movie series, and listening to SOR. Love you, Nikki. Gail, nothing. I do absolutely nothing. Stressed out living is a dangerous lifestyle and doesn't promote getting things done any faster or better. Aren't we getting scolded here from Gail? It's harmful to mental and physical health. Therefore, it serves no purpose other than a warning one is on a bad path. Just go about your business and get the job done as best you can. Tell the stress to go F off. Bad Gail. Oh, my goodness. And embrace life. Bad Gail. Oh, she was angry. Alex Mistretta goes surfing without a T-shirt. Chris Wolford listening to music and playing NHL 20. John likes to watch and listen to ASMR videos. Let's see. Becky, I use the devil's lettuce to clear my mind and relax. I still like to listen to podcasts like SOR that talk about the woo. The woo is relaxing to me. And let's see if we can fit one more in here. DA is about reading and writing. Lori about her daily meditation. Sparkles, meditation on a regular basis. Kira likes to walk in nature or listen to peaceful music. So you know she's a Guns N' Roses fan, for sure. Thank you to everybody on the Thought of the Dave and to Captain Shirk for the SOR Newswire, as well as Krista and Kara for Magic Twins. We got Mr. Ron Bumblefoot Thaw rocking in the background with Little Brother is Watching. Bumblefoot is the official music of Spaced Out Radio, rocking us in and out of every single show. Get your horns up for the guitar god himself. Right there. Right there. There they are. Special thanks to everybody listening in at home, at work, in your cars, wherever you may be, in any of our chat rooms, including YouTube and Spreaker, and of course, the SOR Space Travelers, and Twitter at hashtag Spaced Out Radio. Remember, this show is copyright by Spaced Out Radio and SOR Media Ventures Limited. Thank you so much for choosing to share your evening with us, because together, my friends, say it with me, Roy, we own the night. Mr. Bumblefoot, we need a favor. We need you to take us home. Yes, the Woo Train has docked for the night. But soon, my friends, we shall ride again. Your seats are always available. Your tickets never expire. And if you want to bring a friend, we got room for them too. Good night. That was fun. That was a good time. That off. Is that off? Give me 2 seconds, people. People, please, just give me some time. Time. All right. What am I doing? Dropbox. That's the heat on. Hello, Corrance. All right. Hello, Kira. The gorgeous and talented Kira. How are you? All right, guys. 65 of you. I will be right back. Give me a couple minutes. All right. Old Davy's back. Hey, Great Lakes. Good to see you. Ooh, a hiccup. Up so I can get you guys back up and actually see you guys. And let's go here. Boost that up. What I'm doing. There we go. We got our first couple of shirt orders from a couple of listeners, and that's going to be awesome. Can't wait to get those out. Hopefully in the next little bit here. It snowed so heavily today. At one point, we were getting like an inch of snow an hour. Pretty cool. I was late getting my son to school this morning. My son, my a lot of times what happens is early in the morning he'll crawl in for a quick cuddle with dad, and so my alarm goes off. I'm like, come on, buddy, let's get ready for school, and he snuggled right into me, just like kids do. And I was just like, oh, I fell back asleep. Like, all of a sudden I got the panic awakened, like, about 40 minutes later. It's like, oh, well, son, you're going to be late for school this morning. Daddy's going to be taking you to school a little bit late. Oh, it was awesome, though. Totally worth it. I almost did throw him over the fence. That's part of the reason why I was laughing so hard during that story, is because, I was late getting him for school this morning. Almost time to get those verification codes ready. We got a couple of minutes here. All right. Get those, excuse me. Get those verification codes ready. Almost that time of the night. This one. Those. Button. All right, your verification code for tonight is 899422. 899422. Use it wisely and verify wisely, space people. Oh, Sandra and Princess. Just getting it right there. I see what you did there. I know what you did there. Complete magic. Yes. They probably are twins. There's one that's done. All right, guys, I'm going to be done here in 2 seconds. I'm just going to log off here and say good night. I'm going to be writing my blog tomorrow, which should be up tomorrow night, and or first thing Sunday morning. Usually we try and get it up on Saturdays. We'll have the new schedule up tomorrow on the website as well. Thank you to all of our new followers. Thank you tonight to Bigfoot Michigan Rob, Jim Bob, and Brett. Really do appreciate the love and support through the super chat. Also to all our new subscribers that are out there. Really do appreciate your time, everyone. Thank you so much for making this an awesome night. We'll do it all again on Monday. Don't forget you got Michael W. Hall on Sunday night as well. So we'll see you all then. You guys all take care. Have a great weekend. And if it's snowing where you are, be safe. Drive safe. Talk to you soon.